First World Order Radio. Finally, we are on the air. No doubt. All right.
There's always going to be somebody in the building on First World Order Radio.
We get on into some of that order consciousness tonight.
First World Order Radio every Wednesday, 8 p.m.
We got to talk about what is taking place on the planet.
There's always going to be somebody in the building on First World Order Radio. First, we need to let you know we're going to be doing more shows, giving out more information on Wednesdays. Wednesday at 8 o'clock, we are now going to make this the hottest day of the week.
Preceding others in time, order, importance. The most prominent parts, voices, or instruments. Earthly state of human concerns in existence. An indefinite multitude, quantity, or distance. System regulates to bring about specifics in the group based on value and natural characteristics. Current radiates electromagnetistics of sound through the air, same as your thoughts transmits it. Preceding others in time, order, importance. The most prominent parts, voices, or instruments. Earthly state of human concerns in existence. An indefinite multitude, quantity, or distance. System regulates to bring about specifics in the group based on value and natural characteristics. Current radiates electromagnetistics of sound through the air, same as your thoughts transmits it.
You need to understand how magical this, something like this every Wednesday can become. So you need to start getting your calendar right, get your schedule right. You need to know our intention straight out.
All right, so, these clues are given throughout the various languages was to piece the puzzle of this ancient mystery school back together again.
And what we plan on doing, both of us, is bringing y'all some surefire dynamite. We're going to take this level up a notch. We're going to have stuff to do here. This is not just going to be about philosophies and theories, shit that works.
All right, how to speak to spirits, class number 2. All right. So last week, we got to the idea of symbols, joyous thoughts, casual conversation with the spirits, to have a communication with them. The idea that pops in your head, we talked about the value of that. Usually the first idea that pops in your head is a spiritual one. We talked about the bird's eye view. We didn't talk about cravings. If you crave, no, we actually did. If you crave something, we talked about is pizza. If you crave something, usually that's your spirit trying to get something in your system or put you in a situation that you would have to be at a certain spot to eat it, just to start perhaps a chain of events that will lead to your end result, whether you realize it or not. And then finally, something told me to do it, your intuition. Like we pointed out last week, there's always that when you do something right, something told me I should do it with victory. When you do something wrong, something told me I shouldn't have done it. Because there is something always telling you. And now it's been regulated to your intuition because these things have been brought down to a level of just your basic intuition. The more you work with it, it's like exercise. The more you'll get stronger at it. The more you get stronger at it, the more your messages will come in a little bit more thorough, a little bit more wider, and a little bit more detailed. So, out of the 6 niggas who are here, oh no, CJ Wiley has his beard, he grew it back again. Out of the 6 niggers that are here, or the 5 niggers, what were we gonna say? Any questions on what we studied last week? Anybody who does not get it? Hold on. Did you have a question, Snyder? Snahuliar? One second. Repeat that.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, cool. So you said to look up exercises for the imagination, right?
Say that again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You were talking about looking up exercises for the imagination, right?
Yes.
All right. So one thing that I did was I created a mini childhood fountain with me and my favorite toys from my childhood, and I went back into, I guess, my memory and talked about my grandfather who wasn't there, and I'm just pretending that he was there because I needed some resolution. So because I wanted for my meditation, I had focus on I need discipline within it. So I was like, let me imagine my dad got me into meditation and told me to do it throughout each time of it. So is that a way within exercising my imagination?
That's not a way. That is, you just described. It's not, don't do that. You just described it to me. So let me ask you a question. Explain to me what in your mind would make you ask that question in terms of something different. What would you think would be different in your estimation? No, in terms of, you just asked, is that exercising my imagination? Is that what you just asked? So if you have to ask, is that exercising your imagination? What led you to that question? Meaning, why would you ask that question? What's the differences in your mind? Oh, okay. So it's just self doubt we're talking about. Um, well, let me tell you, if I haven't said, let me say this now. You need to address self doubt. You don't need to address any of this easy shit that I laid out. That if you have to bring it up and say, am I doing it right? Then that's actually your problem. Your confidence is how this gets done. That's just that. That's just that. So if you even admittedly have to say, uh, one second. If you admittedly have to say, I have self doubt, that's your problem, period. You have nothing to work on but self doubt. Because I want you to think it through. If you self doubt yourself, explain to me what that means. There you have it. So I need you to really follow out your own thoughts in your own mind. It's like, what are you, to be quite ill, I'm not trying to be ill or flip. Like, what the fuck are you even asking me that for? You want confirmation from me. And that's what all of us has to stop needing. Something outside of you to validate what's in your own head. If you did it that way in your own head, what are you waiting for me to say? Good job, way to go. Because really, that's the only thing I can say to help you with your self doubt in your mind. But self doubt comes from self. And if I was to say something and you doubted yourself because of something I said, or convinced yourself of something because of something I said, how weak would you be then? You know what I'm saying? So I could tell you, oh, it's the greatest thing you ever did, and all of a sudden you're good. Or, oh, no, that's wrong. It's the worst thing. And all of a sudden you're not good. Nigga, that's weak. That's real now. You know, when they heard this shit, if we had a whole full class of niggas coming back, I know it may be hard for niggas to get here on Saturday. And they could get the recordings. So ultimately, self-doubt is the biggest problem anyway. You know what I'm saying? Did we cover that in this class? It goes under the idea that pops in your head. That's a subject that we covered. The idea that pops in your head is the first and the true one. Nothing no one could tell you is going to make anything valid or less valid. If you're looking for someone to validate for you, that's a general weakness in any area. If you're waiting for me to tell you you're the greatest on the skateboard, then you're a failure on the skateboard. And you just admitted my prowess on the skateboard. You'll never be the king. Because you just admitted I have to ask someone who if I have to ask them, they must be superior, or at least I value their uh, opinion. So most people try, if they're smart enough and they don't want to admit it to themselves or don't know how to admit it to themselves, or not even aware of themselves, they try to say, well, it's some peer-to-peer shit and I'm just seeking your professional opinion. I can see through that. You're scared of what comes out your own head.
Message. New message.
You're scared of what comes out your own head. Let's see.
New message. New message.
Can it get down? Good Lord. One second. Can it get down? Good Lord. All right. So ultimately, you want to do exactly that. I said this shit is about your imagination. So if you can imagine that, then there's no way you should be confused about anything that's happened that could be possibly wrong that comes out your own imagination when there's a whole section in this shit without imagination there's no way in. So that's the way in. That's what it is. That's do that in every portion of your life. Just what you did with your father, and you'll start to see your imagination becomes real after a while. So you can imaginate your way to a better reality. That's the truth here. So the second part of this is really techniques and once your eyes closed. Because everything I did last week got you to the point where you're closing your eyes. So you have to be conscious of the energy signature that remains. We talked about ancestors, spirits, how they stay around. Then the second thing we talked about was no imagination, no way in. You just describe your imagination, therefore describing the way in. So therefore, you shouldn't have to ask if anything's okay. If you just wanted to share that story, you should have just said that. So I talked about creating an area or a sacred space, area, altar, and I talked about know you can. Know you can. So ask me that way, whether you just want to bring it up or whatever, doesn't sound like you know you can, even if you're playing like that. I wouldn't even play like I don't know. Or I wonder, let me run this, but imagine me saying that to anybody on the planet. I did this. You think that's good? Symbols that connect to energy. I told you to start symbolizing everything in your life. What's the symbol for your happiness? What's the symbol for your prosperity? What's the symbol for your healing? What's the symbol for whatever? Symbolize it so the subconscious mind can have a way to do its work. Always think in terms of joyous thoughts.
Email.
communicate with your spirits. Communicate with your spirits through casual conversation, through the concept of casual conversation. Hold on. Can I get down? Good Lord. Make sure my nigga. He's my nigga. It's a different nigga. Can I get down? Good Lord, Lord. Baby got me open all over town. Sweet, sticky stuff. Give me that sticky stuff. Sticky stuff. Give me that sticky stuff. Give me that sticky stuff. All I want and all over me, that sticky stuff. Give me that sticky stuff. All right. Give me y'all sticky stuff. Sticky stuff. Mark unread. All right, let's get it. All right. I'll give you that sweet, sticky stuff. That sweet, sticky stuff. That sweet, sticky stuff. All right. So we got up to the point. All right. So what was that? Casual conversation. The idea that pops into your head. So whatever idea, which is what you just described, that pops in your head, you want to roll with that. It popped in your head for a reason. I talked about craving stuff, the bird's eye view. Something told me to do it, your intuition. So whatever your intuition starts saying after you start doing these works, you now have to pay more attention to, because 9 times out of 10, that's the message that's coming back your way. Every action is a reaction. For every cause, there's an effect. All right, so now we get to this part 2. Meditation. Because through your meditations is how you're going to actually activate and turn all of these things on. Most people think in meditation is this hard task, there's this thing that you're doing besides focused relaxation, focused stillness. They think there's a way you got to sit, something you got to chant, a way you got to breathe, and positions to hold your hand or body in. You really don't have to do that to tap in. Meditating is just slowing down your brain waves. So all of those sitting positions, postures, and breathing are things to help induce those lower brain waves, those alpha waves. Because in alpha, the conscious mind, the player hater, the interrupter, the ego kind of takes a back seat to the subconscious. And then you're open for programming. So if you have an intention or a reason why you're meditating or doing whatever you're doing, you can potentially program the subconscious mind without the conscious mind in the way. So you pretty much open the gate of programming. The key becomes how deep you can go in the alpha state and how long you can maintain alpha state. This only comes through one way, practice. Like somebody had a consultation with me and they were like, I've been meditating, I've seen gateways, this, and my wall opened, and my grandmother came, or whatever the fuck they were saying. Then the question became, what book could I read to get better? You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, lazy. If you already doing push-ups, that's like asking what book could I read to do more, to get better at doing push-ups. It's like you're already doing push-ups, you're already committed. So the only thing that's going to get your chest bigger is more push-ups. So only thing that's going to get you better at meditating is more meditating. But what really stops us is that same self-doubt that Schneider has. Schuler. Bueller, Schuler. The best thing that Schuler has is that self-doubt. But this self-doubt creeps into all areas. Meditation, whatever, whatever. But see, things that you know, that you're used to, if I said it, you would sound stupid saying it. So basically, if Schuler called me and said, "Yo, Panic, I got some wine, candlelight dinner, had my lady come over. She pull off the mink. She had the lingerie on it. Lingerie's coming off. She's standing there naked. What should I do next, Panic?" You would say that's stupid, wouldn't you, right? So y'all need to maintain how something so natural as meditation, visualization, using your imagination that you even have to ask me. And I'm not trying to blast him because he's just one nigga doing what all you niggas would do anyway, in one way or one area or another. That shit is real. You need to come to terms with it. Something you know so easy and so simple, you need to understand why me more than anybody, because I teach actually more complicated shit than a lot of people. Because even though they may be experts, they're usually experts in one area. You get what I'm saying? So they usually could tell you all about chakras, all about numerology, because that's all the fuck they do. Me, I have to touch on a little bit of everything. So the key for occultists is never become the master of anything, become the jack of all trades. You know what I'm saying? Father something of everything, master of none. They're called student of everything, master of none. So I can put you on the right track to your own study. You understand what I'm saying? There's people to my class and just a portion of fairy magic never got past there because something in it speaks to them. So they've gone and excelled and have gone far beyond the subject of the core teaching. Because really all I could teach you is the mentality to approach this. So that's why I'm showing you things. If we put everything in the context of fucking and pussy, you'll be done with this class in an hour. Because I can show you how silly it is if you use that model. The things you ask, the things even in your own mind that you're too scared to ask. Imagine if you asked that about getting some pussy. It should bring a fucking chuckle to your face. Like, am I doing it right? When have you ever been in some pussy going, am I doing it right? I want you to think about that shit for a second. So when I hear it, it's like, nigga. So when you think it may sound like an ego or arrogance, but no, it sounds stupid when I know how easy it is. Just like fucking. But now I want to think the moment before you got pussy and all your cousins told you about pussy. What were you thinking? Will I do it right? Will I know what to do? Will I embarrass myself? Will I come too fast? Will I be a 5 minute brother? You thought of all those things until you got some pussy. Because you knew there's not really much you can mess up. Once you in it, like, how was it? You could at least walk away and say, well, it was successful. You know what I'm saying? My dick went in a vagina. So ain't no question about that. It's just when you come out of meditation, you go, well, did I meditate? It really becomes how effective was your meditation. Because every time you go to sleep at night, you go through stages of brain transference or transformation. And you go through the meditative alpha state. This is that moment when you're in bed and you first go, the day is over. Problem is, you don't think of shit. Therefore, nothing's really happening. You just go to sleep and it's wherever your brain will take you. Hold on. Hold on. Download the program Zoom for meetings. It's an app. Once you have the app, comma, put in that meeting ID to get to us. Can I get down? Get low. Give me 1 second. Let me help this guy on. Zoom, 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 zoom. Can I get down, 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 down. Good, good, good. Low, 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 low. Do. Mm-hmm. I like the way you work it. Bad, black bitch every day. You're showing my mind. I gotta get down all the time. Wow. Oh. Curves the word, spins the word. Guess what you heard? What the fuck, nigga? Let's go. Maybe I gotta do this. Apply all. Oh, that's exactly what I have to do. Alright, I'm trying to get this dude on. Freak what you heard. Alright, so if we put this against the pussy model, you start to see how kind of ridiculous this sounds. It is absolutely hard for you to get this because you're looking for something hard. Okay. I emailed you the website. Oh boy. Herbs the word, bends the word. Brother, did now freak what you heard. Rolling with the fat bitch. How many niggas was there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No, 13. Oh, it was only 13 people. So it was full last week. All right. Oh, there's my brother Aaron. What's up, Aaron? Yo, my nigga, my nigga, my nigga. So this is class 2, my nigga, but I have the recording of class 1. So we're about to get in meditation and techniques and bring it all the way down. It brings it to where we were. What we did last week, we started with first understanding what conscious energy is and what a conscious energy signature is, which are spirits, deities, ancestors, archetype energies, and so on and such. How to deal with that. Like I said, all that's recorded. Then we dealt harder with your imagination and the concept of how important, how key, and there's absolutely no way in without an imagination. You out the game without imagination. So we did a couple of exercises. What we would tell is continuous stories made up as you go along. And it's not really a fail, but it's usually where most imaginations are. I started with I got on a skateboard, went up the street, and seen a gateway that looked like a heart. And when I walked through it, I let one of our classmates finish, and he described a lot of magical shit around him. But in the end, what I did was get on the couch and watch TV. Right, CJ? Shit was funny. So I went through a whole magical world to watch TV. There's not really nothing wrong with it. I'm sure if he just knew, he would have gave us something better. But without him knowing, where would your mind go? And that's really the key. That's not saying he's in a bad place, because there's motherfuckers that just couldn't even say nothing before. I'm like, nigga, you can't make up nothing right now. Like, after about 14 nigga, you should at least have some. Well, it was a skateboard. But CJ was at least able to do it, even though we ended up on the couch. But that's the exercise you want to do. And we also talked about altars, sacred space, and knowing you can as opposed to questioning. I went in detail about knowing you can and Snedika. I think Saturday's a hard day. We supposed to have like 15 people, but niggas know it's recorded now. So they're just gonna get the recordings, which is all good. It makes me easier to deal with. But it was like 15 people who took this class last week, and as I looked at your email, it was only 15 people. I thought we were short then, but I could give it to them. Now, what I was gonna say, so Sandika asked, "Well, I did this meditation. I did this. I see my father. I have this. How was it?" Now, my answer, of course, is I'm more concerned that you have to ask me how it was. That's what I'm more concerned with than what you actually come up with. Because what you come up with is up to you. I could care less. It's your confidence. So remember, I had a whole section in the class about knowing you can. That's our problem. So we just went through that. You'll hear the detail of that, about this knowing thing. That's where we usually fail. I tell them about symbols and how to connect to energy, that your subconscious mind uses symbols. Therefore, if you can make prosperity a symbol for you, healing a symbol for you, pussy a symbol for you, you're in a good place. Always through the science of joyous thoughts. And then have what in your idea of joyous thoughts, make them pro-positive. Hold on. Part 2, how to speak to spirits. So, message. Message. Casual conversation is is a method for becoming comfortable with having talks or having that talk with self, because that's what you're really doing. These energies are being funneled through your head like Love and Hip Hop is funneled through your television. So it's on you. So it's the rapport that you create is how they want to talk to you. So there's nothing more of a natural rapport than talking in the same conversation you would talk to every friend standing in front of you. The idea that pops in your head is usually the message, whatever that may be. I went into detail. I might have did it in your class where you may light a candle or do some fairy work or some crystal work and get a craving for pizza. And then through a series of events where you may find yourself ending up at a drugstore getting antacid after starting with eating that pizza, that may start a chain of 6 or 7 events down the line, that you will not ever be able to connect to that craving of eating pizza because your spirit can see past, present, and future as a bird's eye view. Therefore, it may have seen that moment, know that moment, understand that moment, but needed to get you to eat a pizza that day. Oh, my sister is here. I figured you'd pop in just to hear this class real quick. You look like you're mad and somebody put a gun in your face. Can you see?
Message. New message.
That's weird. Hold on. Let me see what she's doing. All right. All right. Yeah, I told her I could see. She looked so confused. All right. So where were we at? So that bird's eye view gives so that pizza you ate that may lead to a chain of events, maybe how you met the person that gave you the job or whatever it is you was going for. But you would never be able to see that if you were trying to look at that logically. You could only be in that moment of I lit this candle, I did this particular work, or I did that, and I got this need to eat pizza or a burrito or whatever the fuck. Go for it. Because like I said, if you're following your intuition, you're following your spirit, what's going to ultimately happen? Oh, she's riding a bike. That's why in the sun. Get glasses, Alice. Like you over the bridge. That bridge is fire. You should give me a New York view. Don't be like that. Oh, you're walking. Boo. No one walks anywhere. What up, Carol? No one walks anywhere. You're corny. Give me some scenery, son. Where y'all at, son? That looks so Queens or Brooklyn. Nah, that's Queens. Hold on. Where you at, son? Your shit ain't working. Your phone suck, yo. Yo, get back on the Galaxy. I can't hear words you saying. You're unmuted. You're a fail. Class is waiting. It says, my phone sucks. My phone sucks and I need a better phone. It says, fuck this phone. You're better. You're better than me. You're better. My big brother is better. He's better. You at the welfare office? You getting your stamps? You getting your stamps? So, getting your stamps. So that something told me to do it. We get that all the time when we fuck up. Something told me not to do it. I knew I shouldn't have did that. Oh, actually, I could give y'all rights to record. Some of you. So I'm going to do that. CJ again. Harris again. Reese can't. That figures. Let's see. Stendiker. I'm allowing. Timer. I'm allowing. And Empress is here. Empress Gem. Now she's on her phone, so no. Oh, let me make sure I gave Aaron. Well, Aaron didn't have the ability. Okay. All right. So y'all can record your own if you want as well. I'm still gonna put you guys up on Dropbox. I haven't forgotten. I'm gonna add everybody who missed it because that's what they want. Oh, Reese's at the welfare office. All right. So some told me to do it. Some always when you do something right, there's always this something told me to do it. And when you do something wrong, something told me not to do it. So that something told me gets more complex the more you start to do the meditative exercises. And that's what brings us to today. Meditation. Meditation is the key. So once you understand all of these basic things that we discussed in class number 1, to really get into it, you're going to have to close your eyes. Because what you're doing is actually using all of these principles through the ability to close your eyes and keep yourself in a state of the best word to say, I would have said flux, but the best word to say is a state of altered consciousness, because that's what you're doing. In that altered consciousness of alpha state, at least, you're disabling or shutting down your reasoning or your logic. This reason and logic is needed as you navigate through the welfare office like my sister to get something done. But in a meditative state, you do not need reasoning or logic. You need to be able to know and to be able to receive, to be open-minded to be able to receive. So to do this, to accomplish this, you have to know how to get yourself to a certain point, recognize that point, and try to maintain that moment. So to first do it, you need things that is going to occupy your rationale or logic, because that's the thing that causes the chatter. That's the thing that disturbs you, that makes you question if you're even meditating right. You would do that because that's its job. Its job is to question and second guess everything that comes internally. That's why Schuler would ask me what he asked me. But he isn't the first. And, those who weren't here, like he just told me about a meditation he did, then pretty much asked for approval. And then when we questioned it, it was like, well, I guess, I wasn't sure of it. So I'm glad he was honest, because that's our biggest problem, period. Not being able to trust what comes out your own head. White people did an absolute mind control number on you. What they did was made it a part of your DNA structure to question everything that comes out of a black mind, including your own. Black people say it in theory, but have no path in their own mind to understanding or seeing how black people have ever ran the planet. When you tell them every single invention that you think is new, including the fucking air fryer that I made chicken with today, is old news to the old Negro. You have been here so long that you have amnesia. And now we're back. So we have to recondition our mind and deal with what has been done. So the first thing, if someone was trying to control the planet who was the underdog, is to deal with the people who are controlling the planet. And we've been here so long and don't even know the purpose of being here anymore. We've been here for so long, our egos were so out of control, you were not even able to recognize a man who does understand who and what he is as the absolute genetic underdog. Without attention, will die. So the intention that he needs is to get the original man to serve him, starting with making the symbol or the image of all that is divine, the likeness of himself. And in all areas, this shows up, including some of y'all's ability to forgive them now is based upon training. Because if monkeys did the same thing they did with you, you would kill them all. When you see roaches in your house, you don't pick them up and say, let's make them free. You say they got to go. And you will stomp on them the hardest you can so they're a fucking example to any other roach that want to fuck around. If we caught a mouse, we leave that motherfucker out for a few days so he could yell and let all his friends know it's not welcoming here. So they have convinced you. Do y'all know the Council of Nicaea was not only to try to get you, which actually worked, to believe that they have a Christ figure that was a historical figure and that salvation is outside of you. This was the beginning process of that. And when nobody was buying it, they went and killed whole villages and sent in missionaries with books and water and said, you want this, you need that. Until you just give up your will and just say, fuck it. It's easier to believe this shit. And all it takes is enough to get in the DNA pool. All it takes is enough for the woman to be convinced. Because once the woman is convinced, every child they have, they convince. If I'm a free horse, it takes a while for me to walk up to you and eat hay out of your hand. But if my child is born in captivity, it's never been a question. If I'm a lion that's born in the zoo, I wait for feeding time. And if they were to release me in the wild, it would take a minute for my instincts to even come back. To know I'm supposed to be out there hunting to get that meat. I'm going to have to hang with some OGs to figure it out. Y'all niggas has been trapped for so long mentally that you lost every single thing about yourselves that makes you a lion. Y'all niggas has been in captivity for so long. White people are only 5% on the planet, and they can run and do at will. Niggas will argue about political systems. But all you really trying to do in any political system is tell white people, I deserve fair treatment under your law. Any real men would have just left this motherfucker and let them have it. They can figure out all the laws they want. You leave, and the next thing you negotiate for is your prisoners. Real talk. But we're sitting here. I seen Rowan Martin arguing with some niggas. Some niggas like, yo, I don't vote. I don't believe the system. Of course, he's like, I believe Jesus will save us. We start talking about God, start talking about politics. Like, you both sound stupid. But he's arguing how much progress we made politically. I'm like, the fact that you have to answer and fight this entity for these basic rights is sick and savage within itself. Look, Chinese people look at the Chinese people that's over here as weak and as lost. They're not fighting for them. So we get surprised when Africans go, I'm not fighting for them niggas. They're not even African. What do you think Chinese people say about Chinese people over here? Chinese nigga eating a fucking Hot Pocket. Brother, brother. There ain't none of that. You a Hot Pocket nigga. If you don't have your culture, you know what I'm saying, at all times from your perspective. When you see Chinese people come over here negotiating with, that's a whole made up thing. We're negotiating with China. We're negotiating with China. When you see Chinese people come over here and say, well, why don't we try to do it like that? They do what they do. And you react. It's really hard for them to justify in America dropping bombs on people for no reason. But they do it if they could get away with it. Because that's how they know the real shit get done. We sitting around talking about vote us in. Black Lives Matter. Why would you? Nobody's even thinking about the psyche of that. Who are you trying to explain that your life matters to? White people? So ultimately they could go, yeah, your life matters. So let us give you all the things you feel you deserve. And then you turn around and tell your kids you can't negotiate with a bully. Try to walk the higher road. If you can't walk the higher road and he's attacking you, what do? You fight back. We just have now taken on their definition of a fight and said we're fighting. We don't even, and see, it works because fundamentally we have this God complex with them. So when they say, listen, I'm going to show you how to fight, we're the enemy, and I'm going to show you how to fight us back. You go, yeah, what's the first thing I do? You go to our schools that we pay for. Then you go, yes, once I get my education, I'm going to turn the world upside down. Show them we ain't about this shit. Make my ancestors proud as I went to their school. Then you say, well, how do we fight back? We become judges and lawyers and mayors and all of that. And then you, of course, they got to give you something. They got to give you these things to make you feel that because if you wasn't making no progress, why do it? You might just say, well, this isn't working. Maybe we just kill all their kids. You get what I'm saying? We'll get somewhere. So they know we're not. They know niggas ain't gonna do that because why? Psychologically, we feel that they're our gods. I mean, who was gonna pay our gas bill? Who's gonna make all that delicious Wonder Bread once they're gone? So this is psychologically what we thinking, and then we see the poor states of the Negro and go, imagine it. I know white people are bad, but imagine if I'm left to these Negroes running shit. Mayor Sean Black, custodian, fucking Dale, the Prime Minister Dale, Saquon Allah is president. What's your president's name? Saquon. Saquon, actual facts, great God supreme, mathematics, G Allah. President. Nigga, come on, son. You don't want that. You know what I'm saying? The foreign dignitaries have arrived. Red pill and blue pill. You know what I'm saying? Cheers. Red pill and blue pill. As good and as intelligent as everybody is and those brothers are, you still got pause on that. You laughing now. Why though? Why? Think about that. You know in your heart shit ain't ready. And you know in your heart this magic shit is the closest thing you got to being ready because it puts you in your own mind. You understand? That's the idea of this, to get you in your own mind state. It at least separates you from the herd. You get it? And that's your first fighting chance. With a herd or a connected mentality, we can misconstrue that. I can connect CJ Whaley as my brother, but I can't be so blind not to understand that he could also shoot me in the head for nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not just this thing across the board. We have to understand and come into consciousness. That's what they were talking about in the Matrix. Either, he said, if that person is still in the Matrix, then they're your absolute enemy. Period. Be real. How many of you niggas right now are so convinced that your sisters and brothers wouldn't just tell the police whatever they wanted to know? Just a little bit of pressure was on. You don't go if you don't tell me where your brother is. Well, I know he usually hangs out there, but he ain't did nothing. Oh, shit. Look at this mongrel that showed up. Old tall, out of place, nothingness. Too tall. Look at her. Her head is on the light. Tell me about you, Visa. Your head is actually touching the ceiling light, son. You're doing too much. Reese, she can only make it past the first shelf. See, her head is there. Why are you making that face? You know you're not ain't lying, son. You're not ain't lying. Oh, Visa, your finger and everything is big.
So this is the opportunity to start dealing with your own mind, because the answers that come out of this, you have been everything in you. TJ, that chicken is ready if you want some. Heard me, Torin? Torin! Is Torin downstairs? Oh, why you say nothing, Nas? The chicken is ready if y'all want some. Where was I? Our biggest problem is not trusting the things that come out of our own head. And it can't work even if you have a conflict or a question or insecure about it. It won't and cannot work. So you need to be sure. So the second phase of this class is really meditation, because that's really the key. Through your meditations is going to lead you. You're going to be doing exercises that actually condition your mind. Now, a lucky thing, well, it's not really luck. That's your mother's shit. Bring that in the garage. TJ. Yeah. There's a big box of hers in there. Just put it on top gently, because whatever that is fragile in there. That's probably the product you're going to do, my guess. So just put it in a good place, just out the way. Rashawn is doing some packs. After he's finished, when he's tired, you could just go up and do whatever. Make sure he's doing it right for me, TJ. That chicken's ready too. You heard me? All right. So where's Visa? Visa, I'm gonna try to see. No. Timar.
Message.
All the new people that are coming late or whatever. I'm trying to see if you have ability to record. If you do, I'm just gonna give it to you. You should see a button pop up. I think they said. CJ Watley. You can record, CJ. But you're not. I don't know if that matters. I don't know if Black Lives Matter to you, but I think you need to get on the ball, because Black Lives Matter. They matter, goddammit. So, what was lucky for me, my father was into meditation, and he decided to sit us down one day. I absolutely was 10 years old. It was the first year we moved in with him. You know, he's getting everyone's life together. You know, me and my sister already had some fucked up shit. So he's trying to meditate us out of this shit. So, but he did teach just a simple technique that seemed to stick. First thing he said to a 10-year-old mind, my sister was 9 years old, was sit in this position. And he made us sit in lotus, which even then was annoying to me. And I got one leg that just never cooperates. And he said, think of an apple. Then he went on to describe the apple. He told us to describe the apple in our minds, whereas it could be dealt with all five senses. So the taste, the smell. And then he was talking and guiding us through this whole apple thing. It was so detailed. Now, I had no idea what I was doing besides closing my eyes. But what it did do, which I didn't know at the time, was show me how to focus my young mind on one thing, as opposed to the many things that was occupying. For some reason, through his voice command and just the simplicity of that. Now, I'm doing this all the way up until I'm about 14 or 15. Actually, it seemed like it was 5 years. It seemed like it's forever now, but it's 5 years of doing this. I'm about 15, and I don't know what's supposed to be happening. I would just close my eyes, meditate. Not necessarily the apple, because after a while I started to know how it felt, or the end result. And what I was feeling was I would close my eyes, and immediately the scene would do it. It would look like this. Whatever I was focused on or thinking about would look like this. I would notice those lights in the darkness would start to take shapes, faces. but they were always scary faces. I wasn't too scared. After 5 years of doing it, I would stay with the scary faces and notice that they would morph into other faces. Still had no idea what any of this was, what it meant, but it was happening. So I'm trying to get a direction or a point to all of this shit. So I just happened to bring up to my father again. I said, I've been meditating all this time and nothing's happening. He damn sure almost dropped his cigarette in his lap and was like, "You've been meditating?" I was like, "Yeah, ever since that time you showed me." He was really fucking shocked. I was like, "Nothing's happening though." He's like, "Well, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, I close my eyes and I look towards the top of my head," which I'm going to tell y'all what that means, which he told me to do. I look towards the top of my head and then, the scene starts jumping easily. Then he said, "Oh, well, that's something called alpha state." He said, "That's every place you want to be in meditation." I said, "Well, I'm able to go there like this. I can do it now. I can close my eyes." Totally gone. I will have to breathe myself back into my body. I can leave my shit. I can walk out my body anytime I want to. So after he told me this is alpha state, I said, "Well, what do you expect?" He said, "Well, you become sharper, smarter, brighter, in control. All of these things that a 15-year-old is not." But he's like, if you stick, but every fucking thing I became in my work. He's like, your mental prowess becomes holistic and all of this shit he's telling me that actually didn't mean anything to me then. He's just saying it, but he was excited that he showed me something in 1979 or 78 actually that I'm doing in 1984, whatever it was. Big deal. Especially 78 to 84. That's like almost a different reality shift, even though it's 5-6 years. So he started to tell me how, because he's from the older understanding of meditation, they were a little bit scared that, and Khadijah's grandmother did the same thing, you can meditate your way and something else could jump in your body. This is before they had all them details on that cord that connects you while meditating. That something else could jump in your body. And so he's telling me about this. He said, well, he's trying to tell me in stories that's going to impress me about meditating. He said, one time I was on the train meditating, and I stood outside of my body. I seen myself on the train meditating. He said, I got nervous, so I jumped back in. My body woke up. I'm like, ooh. I had anemia. Shit was going. It's like, you dead, my nigga, unless you get a blood transfusion. I was still debating this shit. It wasn't just that, they saying it like once they say that, all eyes on that fucking bag they about to bring in the room. I'm like, hold up. Dead or blood transfusion? They're like, what the fuck is the debate? I'm like, nigga, I'm from a whole different system here. Now, the blood transfusion, even in consciousness, Bobby Phil always talked about you using something. Blood is crystals, somebody else's consciousness. So after much debate, we decided to get this transfusion. Yo, literally, I started going to sleep and seeing another nigga straight up trying to take residence in a nigga. Word is born, I had to look in the mirror, see myself, called myself into myself, and just woke myself up. Like, I could feel myself coming out the spirit world. Like, and then at night, whoever gave that blood was a beggar. I could feel like a begging spirit. A thought came to me I hadn't thought about in a billion years. It was me and my god brother. We was at my house because we need to get some money. And we was trying to think of it. Okay, you could lay by that fire hydrant. I could wave down a car like we need help. We could tell them we need help and money for this. But he said, but they might take us to the hospital. We like really debating this shit, but the thirst was so fucking hungry like. I remember that, and I started thinking about that. I got that transfusion. So shit can enter your body, but of a weak spirit. You get what I'm saying? It couldn't do that to me. So he's saying this. It couldn't really do it to him then, but that's how meditation was in the world. So this is how they scared people back then before they really dealt with it as a new age movement. This is how they scared people back then into not going so far in the occult. Following this, CJ? They scared you by telling you all of this shit can happen to you. You understand? So my father was a victim of that. I'm like, no, that can't happen. Now, one of the things he did that turned me into a fucking beast. So I'm like, well, if you want to train, and anybody who knows a New York City train in the 70s and the 80s, 90s, you probably cannot tolerate it now. And it's beautiful in terms of these new trains and all of this shock absorbing shit. Back then you were on metal cans and they made the noise of clanking metal cans. Skid marks, screeches like across a chalkboard all day. You wasn't getting nothing done on there. You had to be a real master to even read a fucking novel on there. In the end, I learned how to read motherfucking heavy books on there because what my father said, instead of trying to meditate for quietness and peace, meditate to the sound of the train. One of the most masterful things he told me. So after that, I started meditating to the loud sounds and was able to tap in on a level that was fucking enormous. And then was able to read and maintain. If somebody's having a conversation between two people, I can't read. If 10 people are having a conversation in a room, I could totally zone out and read some of the deepest shit that would stretch my mind. Because this is a certain attribute that built up based upon meditation. You're going to have to build those muscles up. That's the way in. That's the way through this. That's the way in this. This is how you do it. All right. So the first thing he told me while closing your eyes, besides focusing on the apple, and if you feel that you are a bad meditator, then you need to take it to that level. But the first thing you need to do when you close your eyes is these two eyes must look at the top of your head. By doing that, you're creating a pyramid and bringing your light to your third eye, or you're really requesting vision be endowed in your third eye by looking towards the top of your head. Your ultimate goal or the ultimate way into meditating is trying to get your mind down to one subject. So the apple technique or banana, then you want to do something more complex. Like, let's say your first bike when you was a kid, your first ride. I remember exactly where my first bike was. The first bike without training wheels, the first big person's bike. It was blue by a company called Ross. My stepfather took me to buy it and to the park. He took me to the park to ride it while people were coming to my house for a surprise birthday. But I remember the thrill of taking off first one training wheel and leaning on one, then the other, and him saying you could do it. And then that sensation. So that becomes a tool for my imagination, an exercise in my imagination, what I'm really using is a memory, right? But I have to imagine how I felt that day when I was 6 years old, 7 years old. 6 years old actually. How I felt that day when I fell, how I felt that day holding the wheel, the pedals, getting the bike, what I was smelling in the air, the detail of what we ate or what we was going to eat, how food was. I'm literally going back in time in my memory. And while I'm doing this, this is meditating, but it's more advanced true meditation. In this new age shit, they're telling you think of this, go home, breathe. Who the fuck got time or even is interested in doing that? But it's easier for you to think of that joyous thought or that joyous moment that you like and stay in that moment. First time you did this or the first time you did that. The first time my sister tried out to be a cheerleader and found out she was on. The first time they went to a game. First time she knew she would be the boss of it. The outfit. You get what I'm saying? The moment, the school, the smiles, the laugh, the satisfaction. All of those things are in her memories, but she can still imagine them by probing the memories. Two things are happening. She's putting her cells in the memory of that moment, which has so many benefits: calm, peace, relaxation, and power. And one of the most hidden of all and most powerful tools on this planet, potential, or potential energy or hope. Your natural state of being is potential energy, right? So much so that the white man manipulates it in the form of hope for you, in the form of your kids, because they're potential energy, or what black people may become. All that's potential energy. So they manipulate you by that. Every nigga trying to fight against Trump in whatever good fight he thinks he's fighting, when you wipe everything away, is a hope or the potential to become something better. So the meditation, first you need to understand that what you do and the subconscious mind, there's no line. What you think of is real to the subconscious just as much as you physically did it. The end. No difference. Period. Your conscious rational mind can describe the two differences, but your subconscious mind knows no difference. How do you know? Well, when you go to movies, how come you feel a kind of way when the black person dies first? That ain't you, and he ain't really dead. In fact, he's an actor, he'll be in the next movie. But you still feel a certain way because a part of you feels like that happened. Or you see some bullshit and it involves black people just in a movie. In other words, how come there's no movies, a whole movie about drowning kittens? How come there's no movie about throwing babies off the roof? Because even though you could say, well, it's fake, it's CGI, we're acting. There's something that happens when you see that. The same way there's something that happens when women see a love story. It makes them start thinking about the potential of the nigga who brung them to this movie. Same way something happens when niggas see a karate movie. After the movie, they want to start throwing kicks and shit. There's a time in the 70s when niggas was walking around with kung fu gis and karate slippers on as regular standard. So there's something that these images do to our reality that's clear. But the true movie, the first movie, where all of these things are recreating and making over, happens up here first. So you might as well choose the movies you choose to see throughout your life. The more you fill that up in your meditations, the more your reality starts to shift subconsciously, that everything you do without knowing, thinking, or caring moves towards the ultimate goal of your happiness. And you won't even have to lift a finger or think a thought, because what I'm talking about is programming. You can program yourself to have every fucking single thing good happen to you, where nothing can go wrong. And things that can go wrong is only but a blip, because you're in a place where you'll never have, this is nothing here is ever perfect. It's all a pendulum swing. Good and bad by your definition. So however much you could ever get it to swing to the left, it must compensate by the right. That's the law of rhythm. So understanding the law of rhythm, there's a way to manipulate it. There's a master alchemist way or hermeticist way or how the occultist would do it. You're trying to get the pendulum to stay on the side you want and not notice the swing to the right, which you may consider bad. And that happens based upon your focus. So we focus on all the dumb shit that we think we need to beat instead of focusing on all the shit that we are winners at. We say the things we're winners at. We're goddesses. We built the pyramids. Nigga, you got melanin here, some shea butter, nigga. Did you know about crystals? And we don't believe that shit. You know what I'm saying? We don't do things or work in a place where we manipulate it. And this is just really through the beginning stages of your meditation and on the astral traveling and where you'll be at the end of this class, straight spiritual communication. To be able to communicate with those consciousnesses that exist within inside of you, or what you've been calling the universe. Remember the first law of mentalism. The universe is what? Mental. The universe is in your mind. So you could speak through anything in the universe through your mind, like you could turn to any fucking signal you have on cable through your one TV. Your mind is nothing more than a TV for the universe, but you're watching the pictures that have been created for you. You're not looking at the pictures that deal with your circumstance. You're looking at the pictures of your circumstance, or even more importantly, of your former circumstance. Some shit that happened before. And the one thing that's guaranteed on this planet is niggas got it fucked up for right now. So everyone has had a fucked up nigga upbringing, some worse than others. And even in your best case scenario Negro upbringing, you still have the mind of a happy slave that raised you, trained you, and programmed you. There's no way out of this but through your own will. There's no way out of this but through your own willpower, I should say, and through your own understanding of this shit and doing the work. That's it. And then confidence in your results, however far-fetched they may be. The problem is you learned all through your public school life that somehow people are supposed to agree with your assessment of whatever shit is on the table. Once you stop looking for people to agree and convince yourself of whatever the madness of your mind is, then you'll be a perfect display of what Bobby Hemmitt's been showing you niggas for the longest. Some nigga who's an insane madman walking around sane, doing whatever the fuck that comes to his mind, and then calling it whatever the fuck he chooses that benefits him, i.e. Pete Soda healing you. If you are in this matrix, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, it won't work for you. You'll just be a smarter, dumb nigger. So this totally, absolutely works for people who are foot in and understand, first and foremost, that you have been mind controlled. You have been led astray. You're not just cool because you know melanin and somehow you can say the word goddess. You're not just cool because your nose matches people who was on the wall thousands of years ago, who was on some whole other shit, did some other shit, and finished what they came here to do. You're here under this circumstance, and you need to move now. And where we stand in the circumstances, stop trying to congratulate each other on what we think we are and put in that fucking work on what you need to do. That's reprogramming. Simple as that. So when you look at the top of your forehead, you're going to turn off your human eyes, and then you're going to start to see lights. Like I said, the lights phenomenon is going to happen. It's going to happen simultaneously, because let's say you start from scratch, and you have to deal with this one apple, then to your bike, Then let's say after you finish with your bike, you could do your car, or you could go like to your mama's house in your mind because you've been there 100 times at least. Go to her bathroom, move around her house, get more and more complex. Eventually start going to places you've never been. What you're really doing is training your mind to think of one thing because you've been trained all your life to think of thousands of things in the course of a day. Right here, as you're sitting here, I'm thinking, do I want some more chicken? Will Torin remember to sweep the floor like I told him? Is my nephew doing my herb packs okay? After this, I got to run and get a haircut. How long is my sister going to stay? How long is Visa going to stay? Who the hell is Mia? I'm wondering, is Mia Reese's invite of my nephew's daughter, or is she in the class? All this is going through my head. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at CJ Wiley's beard going, when the fuck you gonna cut that shit off, my nigga? You know what I'm saying? Don't you know what I'm saying? Yeah, nigga, Rick Ross, it ain't really our shit. You can't do that. Just saying, nigga, you look like the rape train don't stop for nobody. you, you're like the rape train don't stop for nobody, Panic. So all of these thoughts will randomly go through your head. What am I wear? Do I want something to drink? You know what I mean? I don't want to drink no more soda today. Khadijah, she's she's at her sister's house, blah, blah. What are they doing? Where's my sister's really at? She's about to go get a chai latte or some shit. Looks like she's driving dangerously. She's already got her chai latte. You know what I'm saying? All that shit's in the mind. Fucking slave drink. She's a slave to it. So when you close your eyes, those thoughts tend to emerge again. So you've been taught and trained to use your mind that way. While even in China, they'll tell you in the middle of the day, a couple of times, they'll go to the roof and start doing Tai Chi and shit like that. Because they realize how important it is for your mind to relax, to get into that meditative state. And we need to get there. You know what I'm saying? I would have to say my success as a researcher and a studier and my ability to retain this information, because I've been meditating for 40 fucking years now. Hands down. And studied what it means and the science of it. Because I'm not only telling you, I knew the act of doing it for 10 years before I even knew the science of what it is. Y'all hearing the science of what it is. Y'all need to know the difference between science, mythology, and what's happening here. Oh shit, that's Queensbridge. It's cool. Cool Queensbridge. That's Ravenswood. Let me see it again. I'm gonna tell you exactly where. You ain't gotta even say that. Hold on. Them two. What's that? It's almost. Turn to the right. Your other right. Nah, not so much to the right. Turn to the left. I don't know where the fuck you ain't in Astoria. You in Astoria. Astoria's in the house. Now, see, you could have did that and I'd have known immediately. You gave me more the vision, the place. Fuck you doing in Astoria? You might get jumped, son. They don't know you out there. You ain't got no juice out there. Just drop my name if somebody fuck with you. If somebody fuck with you, say Brother Panic. You be all right. Go past my old house. I want to see what it looked like. Do they still got that cab from the Wiz? Yeah, I bet you ain't know that. On Ace, oh damn, you up the hill right now. If you go to the left, once you get to the top of the hill, there was a garage. They had one of the cabs from the Wiz on that motherfucker. Down 8th Street. Oh, you should take me on the tour down there. No, the other way. That's down my block. You gotta go, deep in the hood. Yeah, you kind of stay away from there. Not down, you gotta go back in the back of Astoria. Now, you going by my house now. Nah, why you ain't go the other way? The other way is Astoria, so you ain't in the hood. You ain't on H. You ain't a G like that no more. You used to be like that. You used to be able to go to hood. Now you real sophisticated. You know what I'm saying? You ain't a G like that. Take your ass down that hood. Tell them niggas what's up, nigga. In fact, order some Chinese food. Oh, so that's your watch this shit nigga face. Watch this shit nigga face. Carol looks shook. Look at Carol's face though. Carol looks like I'm scared. Don't do it. Don't take me to the hood. Go to QB, son. Half them niggas live out here now. But why you cut off your camera, faker? All right, so where's we? All right, so when you look at the top of your head, take it down there, son. When you look at the top of your head, like I said, you're exercising the portion of you that can stay focused and stay in that moment. And the more you can stay in that moment, you'll find you're able to maintain it longer. Ooh, hold on. Go in the key, son. You went down the hill? Nah, you somewhere else. You down my block. Yeah, I was already a baller. I was living here 90. My crib was already better than your whole life in 96, 97. My crib was better than your whole life. My old joint. I could tell it's real different now. The people who owned it don't even own that shit no more. I could tell you that. I don't know where the hell you at, son. Your driving is questionable. You in where? Hold on, let me see if we can hear you now.
Yeah, you can hear me.
I got you. Yeah, where you at? Yeah. Where you at?
I'm like 12, I think.
I'm on 9th Street, son. Fuck that street. Fuck that street. Go in the hood. Go in the hood, son. Good. Good. I should have moved back now. Oh, hell no. No, that's prime real estate now. All right, nigga. All right, I'll just wait for the. See, I never said that ever. I don't give a fuck. I like nigrified. Nigrified is my favorite word, actually. Nigrified. Oh, okay. I'm gonna let you and Carol finish niggering about the town. Niggering about the town, just niggering about the town. Me and Carol are just niggering about the town. Niggering about the town. Niggering about the town. My boy Aaron knows about that. Aaron, what up, brother? Just niggering about the town is all. Just niggering about the town. What up, brother? Just niggering about the town. Yeah, I see. I hear you. You're like, Dad, get your act together. Let me tell you. We got to come up with an ill line, yo. I think we're landing on sweet, sticky stuff. Now, can you blow sweet, sticky stuff like it ain't nobody's business? Like, you don't have to do it now, but if, can you see the vision? If not, we need another line. Okay, huh? Say it one more time, eh? Monday. What's on Monday? Wait. What did you talk about? What did you talk about? I don't know. I don't know. I think you're supposed to. So we're supposed to hook up Tuesday. It might be Tuesday. Well, it might be Monday. We talked about Tuesday. Either way. But so he told you already. All right, because I didn't know it was going to be a surprise. I wanted you to do a definite song. But we need a thing. And this shit keep coming. Sweet sticky stuff. Like, just sound weird, but you got to sell it. But if not, I just want to start putting you in that place, like one of those lines. You know what I'm saying? That sweet sticky stuff. It's like, all I want you to do is this. No, 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 no. Yeah, 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 yeah. You know, just do that, and I'm good. All right, we gonna kill this shit. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Wait till you hear the shit that I've been doing with them. Sweet sticky stuff, my nigga. Sweet sticky stuff. Oh, your sweet sticky stuff. Sticky stuff. It sounds weird. All right, I'm gonna end this or get to this so we could get all on it. Finish this up. Get y'all out of here real quick so I can get a haircut today. So you want to think of the one thing, and while this is happening, you're always going to notice those lights. So you'll be able to get into this one simplistic mindset, if you will, a little bit easier as you keep practicing with the symbols like the apple, banana, the bike, or whatever. You're just going to start to know the climate of what it feels like to get there, to get into just that other state of mind. Much easier. You're really just becoming, you do it all the time. You go into alpha state when you sit in front of the TV. Sometimes when you're driving for long periods and zone out at night, seeing the highway, the repetitiveness of the lights or the street markings. Candles do this. Speeches get you in alpha state, especially if the speaker knows how to talk. If he first starts talking to your heartbeat. Brothers and sisters, we're here today and we are gathered amongst us, as individuals. It's a much needed time, and these things are real important that we discuss them. We have act this thing really hard, really well, because we know this is a potential that all disturbs us. It bothers our minds. It hits us in our soul. We try to think. And the only way out of this is for you to give me your goddamn money. And then we'll be all out of this by tomorrow. And you're like, oh, okay. Because the yelling becomes a command for the subconscious. While I was leading you off in the alpha state. So as I said it, you're going to go, I ain't giving that nigga no money. But that's not what I did. I didn't tell you to consciously give me money. I programmed you to do it. So if it's not today, if it's not tomorrow, you will subconsciously, without knowing, indirectly do it. You will find that you're always giving your wife money for this preacher that she dragged you to church with. Somehow he's going to eat. And it could be just one command, or through a speech, many commands of, you have to give up, give up, give up for that which you know is right. Now, it seems vague, but if I already told you, give me your money, and then 3 minutes later, we're talking about something else, and I'm saying, give up, give up, give up. Your subconscious mind picks up off of, give me my money, give up, give up, give up, because you know it's right. Right? I'm saying because Jesus is here with us. He does this. He knows it. He's in our hearts. He's in our minds. You know you cannot live without this. So now I say, give up your money. Give up, because you know it's right. And you know you can't live without this. Following C.J. Watley? In between, I said a whole bunch of words, beloved, and we love you, and we're here, and we're gathered. Because I'm speaking to your heart frequency. This is Alpha State Programming 101. This is Mind Control 101. This is what preachers been doing for years and speech makers. I seen Al Sharpton do it. We are here, we are gathered, we are speaking. It is our time. We know now. We are here. You won't see all that shit is called pacing, because this pacing, what you're doing is you're saying things that are true. No one's going to dispute. So if how CJ Wiley, you're forced to come to this rally or church, you don't really believe me. So all I have to do is say things that are true to you. So I say to CJ Wiley, people, we are here. That's true. I'm going to put my thumb up for everything that's true. We are gathered here today. It is hot outside. You are comfortable and you want to get out of here. Boom. Right? I'm saying everything that's real. I know there's a game on you. How many times you heard preachers say that? I know there's a game that you want to watch on tonight. But then he'll lead you. I paced you just now. I told you agree with it. See, you're smiling. That means that's what I'm looking for as a speaker. So now a connection, now I get to lead you. So I said, I know there's a game on and you want to watch it. But there is something more important that I have for you here right now. See the lead? Everything I got you to agree with, now I just led you to me. Everything that I say is important for you to hear right now. Did I give you more pace? It's important because the times we are in are crucial. We are in end times. We are seeing things that we've never seen before. Black people are presidents. And then they give you your devil again. They're still up to their old tricks. But I have the answers for those tricks. Thank you, Jesus. Another thing that people agree with. So could you see each time I'm yelling, I'm actually hustling you. I'm actually programming you. I'm actually pacing and leading you. And that's what every speech maker does in one way or another. You don't look impressed, CJ Wiley, but you should be. You should be very fucking impressed. So pace lead, when you understand that and understand the principles of your alpha state and mind control, you therefore could grab a foothold and I'm looking at my old hood. You therefore could grab a foothold and you therefore can start controlling your environment, your reality, and what comes and goes in your life. You understand? In terms of what you need and what you don't need. How to identify a behavior that is fucking funky and address it up here. Not just in, I think I shouldn't eat spinach. I know I should eat more spinach. I know I should eat more spinach. You start visualizing yourself as Popeye. And spinach gives you strength. And then you have all the ideas in your mind of ass whipping, getting pussy, flying off roofs, walking through walls because you ate spinach. And before you know it, spinach won't seem that bad. And then after you know it, spinach will seem like a good idea. And even before you know it, like, I want a juicer. Why? The juice? No, I just want to juice spinach, nigga. I do feel strong. As a matter of fact, I think it was my spirit that was telling me to eat spinach. But really, you program it to work for you the same way Bobby said I programmed peach soda to work for me, to heal me. Get it? So that's the science of a process. It's really just brain programming here, my niggas. Spirits are those voices that the consciousness of your DNA, your soul, your spirit, your consciousness. These are the voices it tells. We just give it names called ancestors, deities, archetypes, thought forms, whatever else. But the wisdom in it, because it comes from a place outside of time with a hawk's eye view that knows and can see all. You lighting a blunt, Reese? You about to smoke a Bezo? Oh, I thought you was about to smoke something. I don't know how you get down these days. So you might be able to light it all up. I'm sure Visa sees me fucking with you and now understands how she must feel proud because she gets fucked with a lot too. So she must know now that that's a term of endearment for me. to fuck with my sisters and everyone around me, even Khadijah. So she must know that. See, but if you know Reese don't even give a fuck no more. That shit don't even hit her no more. You like, whatever, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And she's worse. She just ain't got the mic right now. Yeah, that's like you can't text your way out of this too. Oh, wait till she finds out there's a chat room. Look, you see that face? Look at that face. Empress Gem said you can't hear me. Hold on, let me see. Wacky J is the giant. You still can't hear me? As you, Sean? Oh, well. All right. Come here, Nas. That mural's weak. Oh, whoa. Who the fuck wrote Panic up there? Where are you at? Hold the fuck up. Who the fuck? In my hood, I will come out there and beat somebody's ass. Where's this at? What street are you on? Who are them niggas? Huh? Who the fuck is Panic? He better be Panic Rodriguez. I am fucking hurt. Ask him. Ask that nigga who the fuck is standing there. Ask him, yo, who's Panic Rodriguez? They a part of that? Take a picture of it for me. Oh, those rappers in New York, when will they ever stop? You should get out in that video, be the video girl. Be like, hey, Riri Rock got a big old butt. You ain't doing that. You ain't got it in you. Niggas got Panic on the wall. You was a sucker for even knowing that. You be knowing how to push buttons, son. I ain't listening to you. Oh, ignorance. So while this is happening, while you're looking towards the top of your head, that's the first rule of activation. And if you're having chatter or problems, you focus on simplicity. Lay down, do whatever. Another way to do it is listen to music and see yourself in that moment, whatever your favorite song is, whatever your genre of music is. So you don't have to listen to Om and I and Ooh. You can listen to You Look Like a Future Ass Nigga, Wiley, or 2 Chainz, or whatever it is that you shake your money maker to, you old crazy kids. Whatever that is, go and dig with it. Dig with it. You know what I'm saying? Get in there and do your nay-nay. Get your nay-nay off. Do what you do with your nay-nay. Do your nay-nay. It's all about doing your nay-nay. Just do your nay-nay. No one's going to stop you here. No one's going to say it's not magic. Just nay-nay it out, dog. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So you want to see yourself like at the concert or wherever. Anything that's going to pretty much occupy your mind. So you have the intention, I'm meditating for healing. I'm meditating for enlightenment. I'm meditating just because I want to see something or I have a question. That's your subconscious mind is going to give you that answer. Like, and I said, you got to be a little bit more creative and imaginative both ways, even with your answer, because it may tell you to eat pizza, right, CJ? It may tell you to eat. You're the only camera I see, so you're getting picked on. Like, it may tell you to eat pizza. So that may be your absolute answer. Remember, it must happen. For every cause, there's effect. For every effect, there's a cause. So it must happen. All right. So it must happen. So now, Prime Video. What's Prime Video? Did I say that I could dance? So it must happen. But the way you get your answers may be just as confusing or complex in its simplicity. So you may do all this candle work for the intention of, let's say, finding a soulmate or a mate. So you want to do things not really to pinpoint a certain person, because that certain person is really you're fighting against their will, and ultimately they're not going to want to be with you no matter how much energy you put their way towards that. So you really want to find the person, whoever that person may be. Leave it general, so you're trying to add things into your magnetic field that attract the right person, the right thing for you. And usually that comes by forgetting it. And you're really not forgetting it. You're not letting your conscious or rationale get in the way. So we have girl X. This is actual facts. I'm not going to name the name. Who was, ever since they were middle child, 3 girls, middle child, and to stand out, you know what she wanted more than anything in the world, to be married first. In her mind, from a kid, being married was going to, the big wedding, the attention, the idea. It's a way to talk about her in a place where she's not the baby or not the oldest. So everybody's talking about everything but her. So this is the way to talk. Beat these bitches. You understand what I'm saying? So there, and of course, by rushing it logically, is one tragedy after the next. But when she finally got fed and said, fuck it, she would ask me, I'm like, I really don't know. I know a lot of niggas, but these niggas, when it's hard for when everybody's coming to me for advice. There's nobody I can say, well, he's got it together. Because even though they may have it together, they're not coming to see me with that togetherness. Nobody who's together should be having a conversation with me. It's a way of admitting there's something that's missing or something ain't right. Spiritually, not necessarily ain't right, but something that you're trying to increase. So I can't really recommend. They got to be so pure of heart for me to say to this person who I know, I think you should get with this guy. So when this person for a whole year, she's like, fuck all of that shit. I'm just making myself happy. Which is the key to all of this shit. Is what we were telling them the whole time. Like, listen, you don't seem happy. You are not going to find this. She's like, well, how come, these guys want to take me to all these islands for these vacations, but they kind of all cracking for like, how's the pussy going to happen? I said, motherfucking right. I said, if they got any sense, they would. I'm not bringing you to no fucking exotic island on the hopes that maybe we'll be in the same bed fucking. Like, you need to say, no, we're going to fuck. These niggas is giving you what they consider the ultimate honor to take you on a trip to fuck you instead of just taking you to the movies to fuck you. And all of a sudden, liar guys. I'm like, listen, I'm not here to tell you about the moralism of guys. I'm here to tell you, you ain't never grew up with no fucking brother. I said, my sister, at the very least, ain't doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? She grew up with a boy. She knows how boys act. She know the bullshit because she's seen the bullshit. So a nigga gonna come with some old mystical trick. She like, what trick are you gonna do that I didn't see my brother perform? I was like, y'all grew up with all sisters. Y'all, even though niggas be like, you're my sister. At the end of the day, all this you're my sister, as soon as you go, you're like my brother, but I would give you some pussy. Watch the dude go, well, we're like brothers and sisters, but still though. There's no nigga, no, wait, what do you mean you would give me some pussy? We're brothers and sisters. In theory. I'm offended. This hurts. It hurts because we're brothers and sisters. No, niggas say that shit to get cooler with you in hopes you'll be like, fuck it, you were under my nose the whole time. Here's some pussy. That's facts. I don't even have to test that theory. That's facts. So that's another way of saying all these niggas over the years that called you their brothers and sisters still didn't give you 100% of what your true brother could give you. There's no agenda for me to hide anything, if I even could, to my own sister, especially one so close in my age. Not a 3. Maybe if she was 3 years behind, I could do some tricks that she ain't seen or heard about. Same fucking age, damn near. So every little stupid face, every little silly hoe that got ran on, most of them from her friend's phone book. As you can see, she's still shaking her head like, motherfucker. Can't believe you fucked Candy. Yeah, I did. Doreen. Yeah, all of them. It was like Rayshawn. Like it was like, especially she had a friend that was hanging with her. They cool, they chilling, they doing whatever. And her friend happened to see a picture of her brother. It was like, oh, he's you with a penis. But her conflict, she was a devout Christian. So she wanted to lay in the bed, but not do anything. I'm like, bitch, that ain't gonna last any nigga. That ain't gonna last, know what I'm saying? So after we did it froggy style, she cut all. She was embarrassed. She was a Christian. But it was like, it was a layup. We looked the same. It's like, that shit was the learning curve was real easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's the same person, but this one has a penis. It's like they were in the candy store. So I'm like, I benefit. Point is, I couldn't even see me. I never had the conversation I had with her. I never had that even have with my sister. It was considered regular information. This is what niggas are, and this is how they act. We have a stepsister we hadn't talked to for years, and I'm talking to her, and she's telling me how niggas is pressing up to it. Now, she had another brother, too. Another big old goony Google ass nigga. I'm like, what do you mean niggas is punching you in your chest? I've never heard of no shit like this. Oh, niggas wasn't punching my sister in the chest in the hood. Some regular nigga just punching her. Her boyfriend? Never once happened. She may not attribute that to much, but it was because niggas knew she had a brother. And it wasn't just going to be that easy. Plus, she had a lot of niggas in the hood that liked her, you know what I'm saying? Like, had love for her. That would have fought even if I wasn't there. And have, actually. I remember I walked up, niggas was having a whole block fight, wilding. I'm like, yo, this is ill. So what the niggas fighting about? The nigga said, over your sister, nigga, for you. I'm like, well, shit, carry on, nigga. Carry on. And let them niggas finish fighting. It was Jada and Renard. Let them niggas finish fighting. Now, so she had it anyway, but it made me ask her. I was like, hey, nigga, she said, a nigga tried to act like it was going to happen, but he seen it wasn't working, so he went the other route. I said, okay, and I knew it was. So, okay. I'm like, this is happening because, you know what I'm saying? She had a brother. That's a big difference, especially one who's the same as you. Because I started seeing how these particular women act who didn't have a brother. They are lost to the antics of dick. Like, they have so many dick issues. I'm like, yeah, y'all would save y'all a lot of time if y'all knew. If I was your older brother. Save y'all a lot of fucking time and a lot of heartache. So here's how the spirit works. A year later, I'm in LA. She came to a lecture of ours. Niggas seen her. She's a fucking knockout. That's why all them niggas offered to take her to these islands. But she ain't having that, just go to the island. She got her own money. So that don't really matter. So I'm chilling with two niggas. One is this annoying nigga, Phil. And he keeps saying the chick's name. Oh man, if I was free, such and such, boy, I would have been I'd have been all over. She's incredible. Da, da, da. And as he's saying it, the other nigga's going, I haven't been with a woman in 5 years. I just sit in my lonely house and do this. But it didn't sound pathetic. It just sounded like this nigga was just so fucking angel. So while he's saying her name, he would say something. So I said, oh, fuck. The spirit is telling me this is the hookup. So I called her, said, listen, he's a cool dude, just talk, relax. She's like, well, I don't want to fuck with her. I said, don't. Just hang out, relax. Sure enough, she's now talking about, and Jeremy said this, and Jeremy said that, and Jeremy said that, and Jeremy's supposed to come. But he's hesitant on even coming out this motherfucker. That's how sensitive and sweet he is. I had to text a nigga. She's like ready. I need him to come on some rescue shit right now for me to even see him as a nigga. I'm dropping hints, you know what I'm saying? So finally his ass gonna come. I was like, nigga, press up. All right then. And he did it because I don't think he really knew. Long and short, when she stopped focusing on it, that's actually when she attracted it. So when you meditate, you're focusing on meditating. That's why it doesn't happen. What you need to focus on is an apple. And that's why it will happen. Get what I'm saying? The apple's going to lead you to extravagant shit in your own mind because it's what you're doing that makes the change. It's what you're doing that makes the change. And what you're doing is trading over from your conscious rational thought and thinking to your subconscious mind doing its work. First starting or getting in with the simplistic thought. The simplistic thought that takes you away from the so-called complex thoughts you think you have by thinking of your thought. So you get in meditation and think of your meditation, and then because you have no faith in what comes out of anything out of a black man or black woman's head, including your own, you start to doubt it. Am I doing it right? Am I doing it long enough? I should be more effective. All the shit that you know you already say. Visa must see a little kid to eat. That's why she's focused. Looking at a little kid like, I'm going to eat the shit out that nigga's back. I'm going to eat that back. Like, fee, fi, fo, fum. Do I smell the blood of a young man? I'm going to eat you with paprika, young boy. Come, come, come. Ooh, come, come. So you got to, in your mind, slow it down, player. You slow it down like that until you're able to handle a little bit more of the workload with more complex things. So again, this is like exercise. Now you'll start to see those light images. Usually they'll be scary faces or weird faces. Usually most people told me that that's when they turn away. They also hear in meditation that you could go so deep, go so far that you're going to tap into some shit. And even if they don't hear it, that's what they believe. You're going to tap into some shit you can't get out of. Fantasy, not true. It was one of the biggest things on my mind that plagued but didn't stop me. This idea that you could go in some uncharted field that you can't get out of is going to hurt, or you're going to hurt yourself, or primarily not be able to turn some shit off. We kind of have that feeling that we're going to turn something on and not turn it off. False. False for the fact that starting off slow, careful, and maybe that feeling, oh damn, something's in my eye. It's itching the shit out of me. Give me 1 second. Let me wash my eye out real quick. All right. All right. Oh, nice. I was black. Chicken. Did you eat something? I have as much as you want. We're gonna let that Jay just slip. Call her Jay. Yeah. I don't know what was on my mind. Oh, I know what was on my mind. I'm gonna tell you, I'm justified. You told me about Jamar, and I looked outside and said, I was thinking, is that Jamar? So I turned around and said, Jay. Huh? Tell him I said, hey, yeah, something in my eye. All right. Sure, I can actually see better. All right, where were we? So these images were scary, and this self-doubt thing that I was talking about is scary. But and that's the only thing that gave me pause, that I would go in some place that I couldn't get up out of. One time I called out like 108 demons. Did the libations. And I was on my way to the Chinese restaurant. Like, oh shit, maybe I should have did that shit. I felt so much power. I'm like, what if this shit don't go away? It was on that level. But then, of course, everything balances out, as I found out. But what I come to find out in hindsight is that that feeling is necessary, because spiritually, even though I had the willpower and was losing quite quickly any fear, that means I would do almost anything. But again, this is like exercise. So the real story in this is those images that look scary, or those feelings that you feel of fear, is actually still your spirit trying to keep you out of what you may not be ready for. It's trying to bring you to these places at a pace. It's trying to bring you to these places on a system, as opposed to you just jumping in head forward, and your humanity still has things that you're not aware about that's in place. Even some of the most advanced of you, I can see where humanity comes into play. You get them kids, forget about it. You almost can hang that shit up, nigga. They're going to make you human, no matter how deep you get. If you're in a place where you ain't got no kids, my advice is don't have them. Not only are you trapping another motherfucker down here, you're only asking yourself for misery. There's not one person I met that said, yo, it was a smooth transition. My son was the coolest motherfucker I've had. They'll say it for the love, but you know that old nasty motherfucker. And let's even say he was the greatest that ever existed. Every day that he walked out the house and you were nervous that he would never come back, just because you live in Chicago, is enough never to have him, and is enough to keep you human. Even if he was doing everything he was supposed to do. Each time he walks out the house, each time you find out that now they now smoke marijuana, or now smoke cigarettes. Imagine finding that shit out. Your kid is a fucking 80s baby, and in the 90s, after all this shit these kids are doing to stop this shit, your kid smokes. You just want to shoot him in his fucking head. Not to mention the thousands of other things they do. It is designed to keep you human. It's the flaw. I mean, without going into it, it's a part of actually a design to keep you in your human state. So you want in your mind to start relieving yourself of that. And that's a process. You're human in places because you're still having a human experience that hasn't even been dealt with. There's years after the game that I realized, oh, that's some real humanity shit, some humanity hope shit that I'm doing. That you've been doing it for so long, you don't even realize that you're doing it anymore. So if you have a spiritual realization before you're actually ready or able to let go of that part of your humanity, you know what I'm saying? It will fuck you up. So for instance, Visa, who would first get on the phone and think, because now that she has my attention, that whatever question she asks is just going to be an instant answer, an instant aha moment. They're confusing that with lecture format, where they have been having aha moments when I'm dealing or talking with a subject. She thought, like most people do, now that we're somehow on the phone, I'm just going to tell you, let me tell you the real secret now. Dun, 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 dun. But after a whole bunch of motherfucker and frustration, what it forced her to do was find her own answers. And now the person who she is in terms of consciousness is way in the game. Just at peace. It feels and looks as if, to me, she knows how to manage her spirituality. Things don't seem out of control. Life doesn't seem out of control. She seems to find her answers within herself. She seems to find her answers within herself, and she's more confident in herself. Because if I would have gave her the crutch of answering the questions, because my ego needs to be this guru, this undisputed debater that always wins, this undisputed guy that black people see as having answers that they can't figure out themselves, then it would have forced her to be the same person she was with more information. The same person she was with more information. So, like I said, I noticed a change based upon making her understand she's the only one that can save her. And sure enough, that's the story of it. So even then, if I would have told her some of the things that I knew I could have told her back then, her humanity was not ready to hear this. So I could have told Visa a shitload of shit that would have made her go, oh, and change her life. But it would be in conflict because she was still fighting for things in her humanity. She's still trying to save her fucked up kids. And mind you, everyone's kids is fucked up. But her kids in particular always got some shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Almost all of them. Where it's the classic syndrome of where these kids have these fangs in their mother. And no matter who the fuck else is around to help, everything begins and ends with their fucking moms, as they are the most disrespectful to her, period, because they kind of resent that psychologically she's their God. And then when they start seeing that she's just a regular nigga who farts, believe it or not, to them it conflicts. When they start growing up and understanding how life is and see your mom's isn't as super as she was in your mind, especially to your son, they go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Usually the funny shit, the younger son, this happens to the older son. The younger son witnesses it and just doesn't want any part of the fucking older son's bullshit. So he's kind of learning on the job and usually has a greater appreciation for his mother. Usually because the mother has a psychological greater appreciation for her first son. So anything the second son could get, he goes crazy. That's Torrin for us. Him and his mom, yes, mom, and he does the same shit for me. Torrin's that kind of way anyway. And he does that same shit for me. But his mom's, Keno, on the other hand, has this war with his mother. But at the same time, can't live with the fuck out of her. You know what I'm saying? And, these are facts. And most boys are like this. Everything else is just levels of fronting like they're mad for attention. And these fangs in your kid, oh my goodness, they will tear your ass up. That's a part of the Demiurge program. Written, not my interpretation. Written. The nigga said, we're going to get these people back. The Demiurge is like, we already figured out how to make people and put them here. Our main goal is to get them to come back. They created that walk towards the light bullshit. You walk towards the darkness when you die. And then they created something called kids. Because our nature is chaos beings, potential and new energy. So we have to instead of seeing kids as a God that you have trapped here in a physical form, that you don't own him or her, that they're their own individual that eventually is going to act like their own individual, and you act mad when they do. When they act like they own it because they're their own God. You don't own them. But the trick is you take ownership in your ego because you confuse ownership with guardianship. You are the guardian of your kids, not the owners. Your kids have their own mind like you. No more than you're sitting here wanting to take this class and your parents want you to go to fucking church right now. You're not in church because they don't own you. Fuck makes you think you own your kids? Panic, how do you do this? I don't know. Maybe they're going to do it anyway. Maybe you fucking them up because they came here to do it. Panic, everyone has their path. Everyone is walking their truth. Then next week, your daughter's going to be a stripper. Oh, Panic, we need to do a ritual to stop this. This is insanity, the way the white man has got us. But what happened to all that path and kundalini and purpose shit? When your daughter's about to suck dick for a living, shit starts to change. Your son just goes, I like to hang out by truck stops. And he starts telling you, you're a father. You know what this, dad, you know when they wear their pants low, you know what that means? They're available. That, look at CJ's face. That will fuck you up. Your son said that to you. Fuck you up. But then you go, why? What happened? I thought we were individuals. I thought we was gods. I thought we all came here with our purpose. What happened to all that kundalini talk? So when they act like individuals, we act mad and act like they fucking up. They have their own life. They want to throw their kids off the roof. Maybe their kids were born to be thrown the fuck off the roof. What happened to all of that purpose? All of that kundalini? What if I came here to be thrown off the roof by my abusive father and you step in, the social worker, and fuck all of that up? Now I got to come back and do it again because of you. Because me getting thrown off the roof may start a chain of events that may spark hope in the life of thousands after this event. I may become some sort of symbolic or mortar that changes lives forever because I needed to be that sacrifice. That I made the choice to come here to be that sacrifice. But here you go with your moralism and your community standards that have been given to you by, I might add. This is how they did it in Africa. The Twa people, the Seed people, the people that they said were the first people on planet Earth. We call them pygmies. When Asa Hilliard and them old historians went and visited them Twa people, was like, oh, you're the greatest people, the Seed people. We love you. Love. Know what they said? If y'all ain't out of town by the time the sun goes down, we're going to eat you niggas. That's what Africans is on. You the one nigga. Thank you, African ancestors, for warm honey buns. That's where I'm at with it. This shit ain't that deep. You need to understand this moral shit that you're trying to do is an invention. And really, you're trying to get and reconcile and control your kids for you, not for them. Because if you actually listen to them, you'll find they've been telling you ever since they had the idea in their head. I never wanted to do that. I never wanted to be that. I always wanted to be this. I always wanted to be that. But you told them how stupid it was because you're dealing with morals and you know better. But what if they came here to be exactly that shit? The question becomes, are you grown enough or divine enough to say, okay, then, I just want to be your friend then. Let's just be cool. No heat between us, but do whatever you want to do. What, you drowning your kids? They your kids, not my kids. And you have to deal with the consequences of drowning them on your own watch. Evidently, if you could save them in that moment, but ultimately, we're talking about not him actually drowning, but the idea of you thinking his kids are drowning because you're trying to question his behavior or her behavior. I'm just fine. I grew up with him. I grew up with our mother. I'm just fine. In fact, I wouldn't trade that for nothing. I'd rather have a dysfunctional relationship, which made me reach for more, than a semi-regular nigga, semi-dysfunctional relationship that all you niggas got and can't figure out what I see as common sense. It's common sense to me, not because I'm from Saturn, because I had to look at other alternatives on this planet to get along, which led me to alternative thinking and easily to accept alternative because normal wasn't working. So I'd rather have a fucked up life that most people would agree would be fucked up, rather than something you call normal or legitimate, and you stuck today trying to figure out why you work at this fucking job where somebody's telling you damn near to suck their dick, and all you can really say is, "Did you wash it?" And that's real. So it starts with this. It starts with personal powers and speaking to an elite council that exists within your own mind. You need to have a meeting with your mind. Meditation players, I cannot say it enough. I'm gonna always lead you there because ain't no way out of it. You think it's just something you do, but it's all that you need to do, along with all the mentality, the imagination, and all the other shit we talked about. So pay attention to the first part of the class because it's going to be what you need to make to be successful in this meditation thing you're doing. All right, what's going on here? All right, so those demons that you see, or light demons that you see, are actually spiritual messages. It's your subconscious mind trying to talk, but at the same time, it's trying to protect you. So if the images are too scary and you stop, it's saying what? He wasn't ready. Following that, CJ? He wasn't ready. So that's why nothing really happens. But then if you stay with it, I've seen hieroglyphs, cities, people, demons, all sorts of beautiful items, which started out as questionable items, if you will, but now sexy and beautiful. And this because I just knew there was nothing to fear but fear itself, so it made me stay with it. And the more I did this, the more complex it became. So you want to stay with your light images, right? Stay with them. Stop noise. Okay. I told you a little bit about that. You could try to meditate to noise as well, to chatter. The best thing to do, why this is the best, for many reasons. For fairies, which is negative ions that you experience in nature, but the sounds in nature are actually constant. You hear them when you're outside, but you actually no longer hear them because there's so much human noise around. And not to mention, you're not thinking about it. But if you're ever outside, just pause for a second. You'll hear air. You'll hear things moving about the air. You'll hear animals. And depending on how secluded the place is, more and more sounds of nature's. Meaning, these sounds are playing constantly in the background in your mind. So if you're trying to do subconscious work by listening to nature, you're listening to subconscious sounds. So it's not really the sound of nature in this case that we're focused on, even though you can say, well, there's energy in the nature. But there's energy for a New Yorker in the sound of the trains too. Nigga, I see a train, nigga, I'm already gauging it against my life in New York. Or that's Chicago. Why? Because the trains ain't like that. You understand what I'm saying? I've seen thousands of them literally every day. So me meditating to the train noise is conducive with a sound that's always in the subconscious mind. We live where you can hear the train go by every 15 minutes, especially if you live at what they call an L, at an elevated train station, where you hear it over you. And we actually, hold on, let's see, what you saying? Like, we live where you can hear a bridge over you. I guarantee you, even my sister right now, where she lives on Roosevelt Island, it's an island, and you can hear it at her house. It was more pronounced at my house because of the shape of my grandmother's building, where there was just sound because it's an island, so you heard boats and you constantly hear the water moving. She lives literally on the East River, and you can hear it at her house. And you can hear it at her house. Let me make sure your ass needs to be muted. What you doing? Why is this doing that? There we go. So you can literally hear it at her house, especially when you're sleeping. So when I'm not there for long periods of time, spend the night at her house, oh, I slept like a fucking rock. Because it's the subconscious melody that most niggas don't even notice. I had a nigga named Rollo in the hood. We talking, I'm like, I'm like, nigga, because you can hear the bridge all night. Queensbridge is called Queensbridge because there's a bridge that runs pretty much over its head, to the left of it, over its head. But all night you can hear cars going by, and there's this air sound like shh that's always in the air in Queensbridge. So when I said it to Rollo, who's lived there all of his life, he said these words. Yeah, I never noticed that. I said, yeah, I noticed that because when I moved from this environment, it's one of the things you go back and it sticks out. But if you live here, it's invisible. Like it's probably invisible to my sister now, how it sounds on Roosevelt Island, which shares that same bridge. It's parallel to each other, the neighborhoods. And show them out your window, Reese. See if she hears me. She's talking. Reese. Text her. Get her to show y'all what she's looking at. Yo, Reese, can you hear me? I text her too. Oh, she might be outside. Where's she at? She might be out. Oh, they're not home anyway. When she get home, I'll see if she is. All right. So it has this subtle thing. So when I decide to meditate to either of those sounds, instantly zone away. It's perfect for me because it's actually a subconscious sound that I'm making conscious. So you should do that in your neighborhood. You should find what sound is familiar to you that you're like, damn, that's always there. I never noticed it. That's a beast to meditate to. A beast. All right, so, all right, let's see. We're going to get through this real quick, niggas. Get through this real quick today. All right. One eye, let me see, stop noise. One idea. Okay, another trick to meditating successfully is humming. Vibrating the pineal. So if you stick the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth, if you feel the roof of your mouth, right behind your teeth, there should be a lump. Right here. Then there should be a big scoop in. Then there should be a hump all the way in the back. If you could touch your tongue to the back of that hump, good money. If not, to that little hole in the roof of your mouth, and even worse, the tip of your tongue right at the base of your gums where there is another hump. All of this is like plugging in, and then the energy from the front and the back moves around. So this is key or helpful in alpha state. Now, another thing that turns it up, if you start to hum while you do this. If you hum while you do this, you start to vibrate the water in the pineal area. It'll zone you right out. In fact, that's why slaves in the hot sun used to hum. Listen, I've stood out here in Atlanta for 3 minutes, nigga. If I had to do some cotton work, nigga, or anything, nigga, pick up a goddamn thing, nigga, I couldn't make it, nigga. I couldn't make it. So what would they do? They would hum to zone out. Whoa, whoa, nigga, nigga, whoa. But actually, they were vibrating and zoning the fuck out, so the bodies would stay here and do the work while their consciousness would leave. So, of course, it's wise for you to now start incorporating humming into your meditations. This is actually where you get om. You're actually trying to get your hum off. Om mane pe me om. You're trying to get your hum off. But what you really should be could just cut to the shit. Just go. Feel it throughout your throat, throughout your whole head. It'll start to vibrate and wake up the pineal gland. All right. Mantras. Those are the key. Mantras are particular words that you would use to program yourself. Well, Aaron had to leave. That's who left. Well, Aaron's still here. He's still here. All right. So mantras are words that you would use to program yourself. Most people use the words like, I will become successful. I will do this. I want to do that. I should this and should that. But I'm going to wipe all that away because your subconscious mind is not thinking. It's not rational. It's taking programs. So if you're programming, I will be great one day. I will be rich one day. I should be. I could be. Those aren't, though you're programming your words with words that are as effective as the word tomorrow. Tomorrow never gets here. So your programming when you deal with mantras should be strictly I am. I am rich. I am power. I am healed. Are healed. Are rich. Are successful. Not I will be, want to be, and so on and such. Now, just repetition alone is another way to program the subconscious mind. But if you could manage to repeat these mantras while you're in alpha state or in this meditative state, Big Bang Theory here. Quick, fast. So this now puts you in a position to make yourself or program yourself with any possible thing that you could put in a sentence through the mantra and through understanding the correct way of meditation, which you now do. I am rich, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich. You do that enough, you don't have to think about saying I am rich. It just flows. I am rich, 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 I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. And even for more effective, rich I am. Backwards, subconscious mind sees holistically. I am rich, rich am I. I am rich, rich am I. Rich, I am rich, rich am I. 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 Rich. So I'm putting my subconscious mind to program my riches for now. Not to think of a scam to get me on top. Not to get me to finally get off my ass and pull up myself up by my bootstraps. All the things that you've been taught that you need. Get my career on, get another degree. All those things that you've been taught that you need to do to get paid, to get some money. Actually, if you program and leave it up to the subconscious mind, you will do everything in your power without even knowing it that brings that result upon you. It's the same nigga who's like, yeah, man, I always get some pussy. Pussy ain't nothing. Pussy's a thing. I can rock that. And all of a sudden, pussy's always on him because he programmed himself in the way he walks, talks, looks. Every subliminal vibe he's putting out without even knowing it is saying, I want some pussy. You look for it all the time. Don't you, CJ? When you go into the clubs, you looking around, then you kind of know which bitch came to fuck and which bitch is just going through it with a man and she don't want no nigga, but she going, yeah, but just stay away. You avoid that shit. But then you see a bitch fucking changing a knot into a cherry stem. You're like, well, she's trying to say she sucks dick, even without saying she sucks dick. You know what I'm saying? Same kind of way. It's all messages, subliminal. You see a nigga with a tongue ring. You like, that nigga suck dick. I don't give a fuck. Ain't that much. I'll eat a pussy with a marble in my mouth if I get a tongue ring, nigga. You're going to say, well, it makes fellatio ill. Nah, nigga. Just eating pussy regular makes fellatio ill. You know what I'm saying? You got a fucking thing in your... So all of those are subliminal signs that say something. We say it's a subliminal sign. Even if the dude go, motherfucker, I like pussy, I'm not gay. We still say somewhere in our mind, maybe he ain't sucked the dick yet, but he's on his way. And all that's because he has a tongue ring. A nigga with a tongue ring. At one point, it was popular, so niggas get passes. But if you see a nigga who got a tongue ring right now, today, ain't no way you saying he's either he's sucking dick, not telling anybody, or he's sucking dick and he's trying to tell everybody with that tongue ring, or he don't know he want to suck dick yet, but he want to suck dick, all because of a tongue ring. So we think that way because even if that guy, no matter what's in his conscious mind, we say there's another thing working here, even if he doesn't know it. So if you do the program, I am rich, I am rich, I'm rich, everything you touch is going to be about getting you some money. And it's going to work. You're just going to be like, this is how I do. I just always was able to get into something to get some money. I was just always that nigga. Never a time was I broke or whatever. Or that time since I was broke, it never happened again or whatever. You're going to think that's just how you do. That's how you get down. That's how you roll. In fact, that's what we tell ourselves. You getting a lot of money, nigga. Yeah, I'm just that nigga. And he's only really speaking on how he programmed his reality. So you see, let's say T.I. pulls out a bag of money. And you go like, damn, man, nigga getting some money. How you doing that, nigga? If you ask him, how you getting this money? He'll just be like, yo, I'm a G like that. I just do what I do. I'm a boss. But what they're really saying is, I don't know, but somewhere along the line, I accidentally programmed myself for this. And now it's working. Crack became big. Let me rephrase that. Crack became invented on my teenage watch. I was not just a generation, I was the absolute generation to sell crack. 16 and this new invention. And all them niggas had these high ideas of all the money it was going to get. Never could do it. Never could do it. Something in my mind, but I know what was in my mind was eventually because I just be another nigga in jail, fucked up or stuck on some old money I used to get trying to do something else and not be doing what I really came here to do, which is this. So, of course, the spirit kept me out of it. But all the while telling me there's a bigger picture of money. I wanted money incredibly bad. So rap music is what I was doing. But my nigga, I used to go into sleep. I used to go into frenzies, seeing myself to where I was biting my own lip of having gold rope chains and money and all the rest of that dumb shit. Now, I couldn't even tell you how to not get money because in my ignorance, I was still programming myself for it to be my reality. So I got better jobs. After I got out of rap, after rap music, I spent a lifetime where niggas would stop there. My sister was already doing record labels. She put me on, got me in that system. Got a bum job in it and then a better job in it. Then was tired of it altogether. And got out of that, I was selling porno, $25,000 a month. Got out of that, said now it's time to learn something because I ain't got no skill and I'm 35. Then I started doing computers, A+, Network Plus, MCS, whatever it was, then MCSA, Microsoft System Administrator, Microsoft System Engineer. Done. Every place I put my resume. Hits, nigga. Got not really even laid off. If I told you how that shit went, fucking with Ogun the whole year, I had signed fucking timesheets. I used to just fax them in every week. Never went to work. I would show up to work thinking that somebody's going to say something. And I said, oh, they chilling. I just leave a half an hour later. Nobody knew. None of the bosses was out. It was crazy. Overtime every week. Doing nothing. I remember one time bike riding past the job, waving to them niggas. They outside smoking like, they in the middle of their day. IT, middle of their day. What up, niggas? For a year, I was eating like this. Then I got on unemployment for a year. Then I'm holding all this whole shit up. Then Obama was in, made that shit another year. Nigga, East Side. I'm chilling 3 years. I'm like, all right, it's time to go back to work. I'm literally going to job interviews. They ask me basic shit. Oh, yeah. I'm like, I know I ain't get that. I'd have got that. I'd have called it a day. It was 70, 80. That's a New York start. But I was still there. This is over 10 years now. I was over there. I've been looking at fucking ending it with a 401k right now. Because actually it was longer. I've been out here 10 years, pretty much. So it was a couple of years before I came out here. So we told me I'd been 12 years deep in this job. I'd have went 10 more and called it a life with this job. Didn't do it. One jobs that I was going for didn't happen, and I just started selling herbs. Meaning there was just always something, but what was really happening, the more I gave it up to the spirit, the more I got heavy in the spirit, the more my subconscious mind took over the earth shit. You thinking about the earth shit. That's why it's hard for you. When you program this earth shit, you can move on to bigger things, player. Oh shit, there go the hood right there for real. Nigga, that's the blocks right there, nigga. That's QB, nigga. Suck that shit up, CJ. Eat that, son. Eat that, son. Eat that, son. It's QB, son. We about to go past my window, my nigga. That's why the pause right around that corner, nigga. First floor action, nigga. First floor action, nigga. Booyah. There she got it. She did it, son. QB, son. Stand up. Actually, that's not my block though. But I ain't see the angle. I'm trying to get the angle. Okay, I see. Now that's my block. You coming from a different angle. Now that's my window. Right in there. I can't see the whole window, yo. Go back to the other side. You fucking up, son. You're going too slow. You messing up. QB. Queens born. Oh, you getting out. You a real G. That's a real nigga right there. Ooh, it's a real nigga right there, nigga. You a real nigga. Who's living in my crib, son? I dare you to go knock on the... Oh, you making a lot of noise, though. Whatever noise you're doing right now, though. What's that sound, son? Ow! No, we got it. No. We're gonna mute you though. We're gonna mute you though. We're gonna mute you though. But let me tell you. Let me tell you something. You ain't hood. You better be careful. Just drop my name. Oh, you gonna knock on that window? Oh, I gotta unmute this. I dare you to do that. Be like, I dare you to knock on the door. Be like, yo, I used to live here. Can I see? I dare you to do that, son. Oh, your camera went out. You ain't got that in you. Go. I dare you to knock on their door, whoever lives there, and be like, hi, I used to live here. I just want to see. You ain't got it. I do that shit. Hi. They're gonna be mad you filming our old window, son. That's gangster. We used to have a bullet hole in there. A nigga just shot through the window one day. Pow! Like, fuck you, nigga. Mr. Lattimore. They thought we robbed their car. You ain't G like that. Now go to 10th Street, see if you see black in them niggas. I bet you don't know nobody in front of that building now. They don't even know who you are. They're like, who's this stranger danger in our projects? Stranger danger. Oh, you ain't really going in. You ain't gonna knock on that door, son. You ain't knocking on that door. Let's see. You ain't out, nigga. This is worth it. You ain't knocking on that door. Ah, I thought you had it. Who's in the front? Nigga, you can't hop that shit. You weak, son. You used to hop it. That's what I'm saying. You don't know nobody in the front of that building. Now they might snatch your little ass up and kidnap you. You be like, my power's on 3. Come rescue me. Like, I'm trying to get a flight right now, but the prices are so expensive when you go on short notice. So just hold on. You know the house. Like, you know, above us? That's somebody new. Wasn't Sharice and them up there? Or were they on the second floor? That was their apartment. Sharice, but she might have been on the second floor. Damn, that shit look real dirty, yo. Damn, I ain't seen that shit in years, yo. Yo, that's sick. Yo, it is. I don't even want to see that shit no more. It's the projects. Let me. You got to turn to the left. You're going real slow right now. Sissy's house. That's real right there. That's as real as the hood gets. Why you ain't showing outdoor, yo? You going slow. It's a lot of anticipation. Your shit froze? Nah, it froze. Your picture froze. Okay, you got no reaction, son. Your camera skills is weak. Weak. Where you at? Oh, you got to turn your camera back on. You lost you. I can hear you, but the picture, it'll probably take a second to come back. There you go. Oh, you back outside? We missed the dough. Oh, hold on, let me unmute you. Oh, there you go.
Can you see the door?
I can see the front door. I'm looking at the apartment now. Is going now. Oh, damn! There's dirt in it. They got shit in the dirt in there now. Yeah, you got to turn to the left. I mean, I can see doors, but our door. Let me tell you, it froze in the same spot. That's how much energy is in the room. Gotta do it again, son.
Yeah.
Yo, it froze in the same exact spot. Oh, now, there we go.
That's crazy.
There we go. It's back.
Every time that I walk out the business,
Shit comes
it comes
back.
back.
I have to go fast before it pauses. Booyah! Now knock. You ain't got that in you. You ain't got that in you. You ain't got that in you. I'd have did that shit. You know I'm a G like that.
You know what? We're going to do this together. Like we do everything together. We're going to do this together.
We don't do everything together. We don't do everything together. We don't do everything together. I didn't become a lesbian with you. I was already a lesbian when I was born. So you're late. You know what I'm saying? You're late. I was a lesbian a long time before you. So you're late. I'm not saying that. That's your job. I didn't do that song with you neither. You can blame Hot Dave for that. That's Trage's building. Like, get out of my neighborhood. You don't belong here. It's like they said, that's right, you're the person who drives through. All disrespectful. You're not with us, you're against us. Should roll through 10th Street with my niggas. Should have rolled. You should have did that on the hill. I know my niggas is up there scrambling. Be like, yo, Panic want to say what up, nigga. There's Panic. Tell it, yo, tell that nigga. Yo, tell that nigga. It's cool. When you get home, show us the view from your house when you get home. Carol's in the car. You're too scared to get out, Carol. I understand, Carol. You're too scared. I understand. See, it's that mentality, that watch the car mentality, is why your people don't like you anymore. It's why you can't get along with your people anymore. Your people don't like you anymore. You're not of the people. If you go on the hill, Sean Black is probably on the hill right now. Tell that nigga I said, yo nigga. Yo nigga, tell that nigga Kimi. But tell that nigga I said, well, you put him on the phone because he probably standing up there selling drugs. Nothing's changed since I left 20 years ago. Probably on the hill selling drugs. Damn, son, you really took me to the hood today. You should do this more often. So my nigga Bliggity smoked the Mac Miggity. It's like I really walking on the hill and want to see who's on the hill right now, though. Remember that feeling? Let's go see who's on the hill. It's really like I'm anticipating seeing niggas on the hill. And you know you should have went by the phone booths, Wolf. Why you stay on the outskirts? You wrong for that. Yo, dig in, son. It's on you. Niggas know. Just tell them Panic said it's okay. They be like, okay, carry on. Them old young Crip niggas going, who the fuck is Panic, nigga? You mean Panic Rodriguez? They gonna go Panic Rodriguez? Nah, you could though. That's a surprise. He's probably re-upping his drugs. Let me tell you. Nothing. All right, let me finish this class up so I can get my hair cut. I'm fucking with y'all. At least I ain't fucking around like last weekend. Them niggas had me fucking the fuck around. So the mantras, forward and backwards, is key. You say them now. You can say whatever. You can also turn your mantras into a sigil. There's a book by Philip Cooper, Sigil something. Phil Cooper's think it's Sigil Magic by Philip Cooper. And your people look well, Laurice. Like people, it's Sigil Magic by Phil Cooper. He'll tell you how to turn your words into a symbol. Simple as that. For the subconscious mind, how to act and deal with it. So that's another phase of meditation you gotta know. Create a pineal trigger word. Pineal trigger words are actually really alkaline trigger words. Your system is more psychic when it is alkalized as opposed to acidic. So to spiritually alkalize your system, you need a trigger word. And this has to be a word, no matter what you're doing, where you are, it brings a smile to your face. Mine's are titties. Yeah. Oh, titties. They are fucking so wonderful. Especially if you use your imaginations to it. Oh, Reese, I didn't know you that don't do that. Now I know how that felt just now. Like that felt fucked up. Like all the years I've been talking, yeah, ass and titties. And she'd be like, ill. I'm like, shut up, just deal with it. That just really literally fucked me up. See my sister go to the camera and go, yeah, with that nigga face. You're like, yeah, nigga, that's my thing. Oh, and then she keep looking at Carol, and Carol's looking at me like, yeah, nigga, you see my broad size, nigga. You see what this is. Yeah, look, doing all this shit. Y'all fucked up for that. Y'all are fucked up for that. I got to take off my glasses. I don't even want to see none of this bullshit that's happening. I really don't. Oh, fuck. I'm literally disoriented. Hold on. Let me pick up my glasses up off the floor, nigga. Oh, my nigga. All I want to get is my haircut right now. I don't even want to teach metaphysics no more right now. I'm all metaphysics out, nigga. I don't even want to tell the rest of this. Okay. Let me be grown with it. In your imagination, don't look at the camera right now, Reese, though. Like, point the camera up or something. Good. In your imagination, titties have so many different races and religions. Puffy nipples, them hard nipples, pointy nipples, the big square nipple, crooked nipples, mismatched nipples, inverted nipples, the prickly bumps around the nipples, light-skinned nipples that match the skin texture, dark-skinned nipples with a crust around them a little bit, nipples with hair around that shit. You ever see that shit? You seen it, CJ. Don't grow up, nigga. Grow up, nigga. I just heard my sister say she a titty woman. So if I could deal with it, you need to deal with it. Titties all over. So the first thing I used to start doing via cyclomancy, which I'll give you guys a copy of, the book Cyclomancy trains you in this, was you pick your word to activate the alkali. Start thinking of titties. So automatically it put me in a psychic place. I mean, it could be things simple as steak. You know what I'm saying? If you're a big steak person. Oh yeah, now we go into the island. You can see how baller her shit is. And we live right across the water. The shit was like a fairyland. You seen the projects that we were just in, right, CJ? Now, right across the bridge was this place that's going to be like Midtown Manhattan. It was New York is weird like that. And my grandmother lived there. I wasn't telling you about how to go back in time. And this is where I go when we were little. But my sister actually had her own apartment over there to raise my nephew. And we were actually living there simultaneously. I moved in with my grandmother. She lived over there. So as kids, we would be in the projects and go right over to Roosevelt Island, right across the water, walking distance to my grandmother's house, which is exactly where she lived over there since the 90s now. And the shit is like day and night, my nigga. prices and everything. She's gonna keep the camera on. I don't. They didn't go into the parking lot, so they're probably gonna drive through the island because you could park over there and walk to the island. They don't live on the end anymore, but you're in a different fucking reality now, nigga. This shit is like Mayberry. You know what I'm saying? And I know she's not really catching it like it really is, but it's an island surrounded by water. Like you can cartwheel from one end to one end in terms of the water, and you can jog from top to bottom. So it's not really that big. And like I said, there's a bunch of condos, very diplomats, a lot of big time motherfuckers. Try to look to the left and right, Reese, to giving them a view. Mad parks and So for my nephew, it was Shangri-La to fucking grow up. He mad because he felt he didn't know about the entire world. So he's fucking actually mad about that in life. There were so many things that were hidden. I said, you mean that my sister, your mother, hid you from the fact that we grew up in the projects, our mom smoked crack, our father really couldn't do it like he's supposed to. She gave you a whole new reality over here, and you mad, nigga? It's like you're just gonna pick, nigga, these kids are just gonna pick something to be mad about regardless. You mad that your mom sheltered you from the projects where you see garbage in the hallway right now in our old building. You know me, I was trying to bring them over there, do all of this and do all of that shit. She's like, ain't nothing over there. Why you doing it? Mad, livid. I'm like, livid? What the fuck is wrong with you? That's the hood. That's this. But ain't shit over there. You know what I'm saying? But an idea. You know what I'm saying? And as you can see, New York can turn into something else in moments. You know what I'm saying? But shit, and she's not even giving you the essence of how that shit is. When we was little, we used to walk barefoot over that motherfucker. And technically, you can still do it now. It's a little bit rougher because they figured out how valuable the land is, and they doubled and tripled up in terms of residents. But where she's at now is the original buildings on the left and on the right. We just passed where my grandmother was. And even that, she should have caught that. See if she could catch that. I don't think so. She might have been too far. Well, you see even just how to get in that motherfucker was like Gilligan's Island, nigga. Now they got Starbucks over there. Like, it wasn't like that before. Like I said, night and day. So this nigga actually mad that she raised him over there. Nigga told me, he finally got with his father in Virginia. His father's trying to be a crack dealer that he was in the fucking 80s. And he's like, yo, I never knew crackheads do all of this and do all of that. And I had no idea. Like, I'm saying, you saying that to let you proud, nigga. I said, shit, you had no idea. All you had to do is watch your fucking grandmother. What the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? You know crack dealers do that. You didn't know it because your mother made an effort for you not to know that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what makes you think you're more thorough because I understand he's an informationalist. So he likes information. So this information hurts, but no, we're not talking about information. You can find out like you did that information later. We're talking about your upbringing, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say. You can't buy into these kids. You'll be fucked up. All right, so that trigger word for me is titties. You can find out what you want. That's going to start that. Create power thoughts. Certain things you can create scenarios to get into a zone. You probably do it all the time. There may be a routine in your mind that you either do or stick to for your method of getting pussy. See, I knew I could cook because living with my grandmother there on Roosevelt Island, she started dropping these recipes on the nigga. You know what I'm saying? And I started perfecting them. I actually started perfecting them. I used to go across the street to my sister's house, cook for her and my nephew. Well, you doing a drive-by. See, over there, she got her camera anywhere. She know ain't nobody gonna fuck her up. Now you about to do a drive-by. Gangster. Oh, that's the other end of the goddamn island. They really shaped this shit up. Yeah, they added ferries, all sorts of shit. I said, she just was in the projects, niggas. Like, just was in the hood. That's the bridge that makes Queensbridge. Remember I said it shares that same parallel path? Oh, show them the tram. You probably know this place from this thing right here because it was in all them Spider-Man movies where he's sitting on that little monorail or that tramway. This is actually where it goes to her joint. So that's where Spider-Man did all of that shit. Hold on, I'm going to turn your mute up. She probably says it's about to take off. Oh, she says it's about to take off. So that shit was like a different world from the projects. We taking that shit. That's going to Manhattan. Because she lives actually parallel. Show them the city too, Reese. The city is actually right there. It's behind those trees. She'll show you a better view. So her view is the city, and the other side is Queens, where it's Queensbridge. But shit's fly over there. If you was a kid getting on that shit, nigga, couldn't wait. So our grandmother put us on all of that shit. So much so it gave my sister the desire to raise a son there, and she fought until she got an apartment there. Real shit. Yeah, but you can see Manhattan. You can see Manhattan's there. All right. Where we at? So cooking food was like the equivalent to a power thought. So I'm like, I want to hit this shit. You show this chick you could cook, psychologically you're already putting her in a relaxed home-like state. Even though she knows it's just dick for a night. At least she knows it's comfortable dick for a night. Of course, they want to hope that it's more than that. Any nigga who can make wings like this. So that was a method for me getting to a certain destination. So you have to do that with a power thought. What's the thought that gets you in the zone? You understand what I'm saying? What's the food that gets you in the zone? What gets you in the zone, nigga? So you have to map these things out to think on them. It turned out to be apples after my father at a young age put that in my mind was that's the way to meditate. So thinking of apples gets me in that zone immediately because I'm so adept to it. So you have to find your own, create your own, and so on and so forth. So create power, a power thought or power thoughts. My power thought also was titties. There's an imaginary thing you do, which you can read in detail in the book Cyclomancy, which you guys will get a free copy. I wonder if I could just add it in here into the chat room. I know I can, but let me make sure that I can, because Khadijah knows how to do all of this. More. Well, you guys could download it. Allowed to tell you, everyone save chat. Nah, I can't remember how to do it. Message here. Let me see. Any more drop now? Save chat. Allow attendees to chat with. Let me see. Well, I will. Oh no. Don't worry, I'm gonna do a Dropbox and give everyone access, and they'll have copies of Cyclomancy. And what this does is it's gonna show you about something called your brain horns. What your brain horns are an imaginary system that you create for projecting energy and your will outside of your mind. I practice this on the New York City train constantly, and it will work. I would say, this lady, I'm going to make her nipples poke out. This lady, I'm going to make fall asleep. This lady's going to fall asleep, and her legs will open. This lady will not notice, but her legs will open, and she will show me her panties. You do this or project this idea into others' mind by a system of creating brain horns. Your brain horns are imaginary horns that grow outside of your head. Where your will comes out of you is your eyes. That's why they say you can give something the evil eye, because you can project something outside through your eyes the same way your eyes receive electrical impulses, and we call it vision. We can reverse the process and send your third eye vision through these eyes, which are connected to the subject, to the subject's aura. So first you have to create your brain horns. So you have to visualize the horns, and from your groin, as you tighten your PC muscles, breathe it up into the back of your head. You're breathing your sexual energy to the back of your head. So on the train, it would look like, so when you feel you can imagine that you built up the energy in the back of your head. Your brain horns are pumping. You see the woman across from you, or you saw her before you close your eyes. You want her nipples to get hard. So you want to do the deep visualization of her nipples getting hard, however you see it. And as you open your eyes, even in this position, I can feel energy actually leaving my eyes. Like to the point where I can't even look anymore. I have to shut it off. So it's almost a scrying or a deep stare. If I haven't told you about scrying, get a book called Scrying for Beginners by Donald Tyson. It'll show you what that it is. It's like daydreaming intensely. So you open your eyes in a daydream. And you're looking, and the energy is coming. And the intention is now out in the air. And it worked every time. I hope y'all understand that. I'm not even seeing your faces, but y'all need to understand the fucking jewel that is being dropped on y'all now. You can read more about it in Cyclomancy, like I said, which you guys will get. All right, so the no breath, no cross legs. You've heard that that's a criteria. That's an ancient technique. It does work, but the question becomes, do I have to do that to tap in? My answer to you is emphatically no. I haven't done any of these breathing techniques, and I've been doing just fine. When I do breathing techniques, it's actually worse because I'm concentrating on fucking breathing. The more I can lose myself and forget that I'm actually a human being that's thinking, the more better. My body posture may been needed one time in Lotus, but not anything. Breath of power. This is something I invented, and since you're breathing anyway and you love to breathe, you can breathe in some of the deities. So 2 syllables is easy. Shiva. So to do the breath technique of Shiva, Lakshmi, Shmi, Shmi. Then visualize the image of her coming to you, or whomever, or whatever. Think of what you can open. So you could say, Omane Pe Me Hum, more than 2 syllables. So you're going to say, how am I going to breathe that? So I just showed you how to do it with 6 syllables. And already my mind is already altered. So think of the endless things you could do in power breathing. I would do the power breathing before I quieted my mind to go into the meditation. I wouldn't think or visualize too much while I'm doing the breathing. So I want to set it off with the breathing and then go into my quiet place of imagination and visualization of the moment in the idea. So Shiva. You're also repetitiously programming your name with the power in the energy of it, and you're altering your state by deep breathing, and then you put yourself in position to deal with a Shiva visualization. You could be anything. Brahma, Nostradamus. You can call your ancestors that way. Our grandmother, we call her Dhamma. I can see her face in detail immediately just by meditating the syllables in her name through an in and out breathing. Y'all ain't ready for this shit, but I'm going to pretend that you are and tell you anyway. Grandfather, Umda. First thing I can hear is him walking through his beaded curtain. That always was a symbol of him coming to answer the door. It's the first thing you hear. I can smell the smells, see the smile, think of the essence, feel the beard. The energy is there. Now, all I have to do is ask him for what I want, what I need, or just some hot information. It's really that easy once you exercise your mind in these places. I gave you the exercise. There's nothing more that I'm hiding from you that I actually haven't already revealed. You can leave now, actually. There's nothing really more but me adding on techniques, and there's only a couple of more things. Actually, one more thing, maybe a couple more. And we already discussed it. Walk towards darkness. Everything you do, you walk towards darkness. I know you think you're a light being or whatever that is, but that's a made-up thing that you were told in church. Darkness is also light. In this particular configuration, darkness is that which is unknown. And to become a knower, you must walk in that which is unknown. You don't get light from light. You don't find out things that are already in the light. You find out things that are in the dark. And the alchemist is in the business of finding it out. All things walk towards darkness in this. And we may be at the end. Let me see if there's anything else I need to add or any questions. You see pineal exercises we talked. Let me see the gods that came back to earth, his work, their connection. No, speak as if you're a personal friend. Message. We talked about that. Trust your impressions.
Message.
Perhaps
Message.
You also need to create a journal. A journal. For those of you friends, class. Khadijah must have just got up. Talking about what you doing, class. Which I sent you the link. Sent you link. Say ho, tap, mo, tap. What you gonna do today? Say what? All right, we're getting out here 5:30. That's a little bit better than I thought. I thought it would be 6. Finally, don't take away from the power of a journal, because as I said, you're doing exercises. So at some point, you're going to be the Arnold Schwarzenegger in your own head. But then there's going to be plenty of times where you were this 90-pound weakling on the beach. So So that means if you had a journal where you documented some of the things that were happening, when you that Schwarzenegger cat, you'll be able to understand some of that stuff that was happening to you on the beginning of your journey. Therefore, it becomes a more holistic work. Because I can't begin to tell you, if you go to sleep and this can happen every night, just since my recent consciousness, how many nights there's been. You get what I'm saying? Of potentiality. And that's just nights. So, I think we're done. It's really that work you need to do. Any questions, raise your hand. I'm going to put all this in Dropbox. For those of you who are interested, this was class 2 to Aaron, Empress, Visa. She was at work. She's trying to come back. Reese, there'll be part 1. There was already part 1. This is part 2. This is only a 2-part class. This is how to speak to spirits. If it is of interest, let me know and I'll add you to the Dropbox, which are the recordings of all of this stuff. And then you're welcome to listen on your own, watch them to make it a little bit more complete in the understanding if you want to do that. And other than that, anybody in the class or anybody, any of our guests have any questions, just raise your hand in the app or wave your hand. I'm going to unmute everybody, so it's going to get real noisy. So because some of you probably haven't figured out how to wave your hands yet, so I'm going to assume everyone is unmuted. Anybody has anything they want to add? Just say it. What up, Empress?
What's up, everybody?
These niggas is lazy. They're not even answering me. Harris is. Yes, any questions, anything that stuck out? I know you didn't hear the first class, but it's pretty much complete in their own as 2 different entities. You'll just hear more of the foundation of where to start and what mentality to have in the first class. This is actually all just the meditative work and the mentality in your meditations that you're going to have to do your own work. You're going to have to build up that stamina on your own. Nobody could do this for you. Type thing. So any questions on what you heard or related to it, I guess now is the time. We got a little bit of time, son. Peace. That's the best thing. That means I did a great fucking job. And number 2, good, means I get to get on my merry route. Anybody else? Timar Shalir Davis, 145-715-4279. Aaron Mumon. Aaron, you haven't met Aaron yet, huh, Reese? Aaron's the man. You haven't met Aaron. They ain't met Aaron yet. That's my main man. B.O.B. introducing me, but Aaron's one of them dudes. I mean, he showed us how to actually shoot a gun. You didn't see the video when Khadijah was shooting? That's Aaron. I showed Aaron. Or when we did the ayahuasca trip, the nigga singing. Remember that nigga? Did you see that? Did you see that? Oh yeah, that was Aaron. That was Aaron. So he's crazy. He's crazy. Know what both them niggas remind me of? The whole Calente Super Lover C days. It's the same exact shit, like redone. It's crazy. Like the weird jokes that we would make that nobody gets or nobody would get. That's just so stupid. Like them niggas is wild because they'll run with it. Like we are on the air. I know you seen it. I think we seen it together. That commercial, we did it in the documentary, is gonna kill me. Remember the commercial where they doing the play and then it switches to Alexander Graham Bell? He's on the first phone, and when he answers the phone, he goes, "Hoy hoy!" And then nobody really caught how funny that is. Then he's doing whatever he's doing. Then he gets another call. He goes, "Hoy hoy!" So we was in the documentary going. Each time we greet each other, we be like, "Yo, hoy hoy! What's up, hoy hoy?" Like it's just regular shit. We trying to bring that out. Carol, you ain't ready. Carol. Hoy hoy is the new hello.
Giving out more information on
hoy hoy.
Wednesday,
Short,
8
just
o'clock,
Reese.
and now we're gonna make
That's the new hello.
the
So
hottest
whenever you
thing
say
in the
hello,
nation.
or when you greet somebody, you gotta say hoy
Preceding others in
hoy.
time, order, importance. The
But
most
Reese,
prominent parts,
show
voices, or
her,
instruments. Earthly state
show her
of
the
human
commercial.
concerns in existence,
Just type in
and
hoy
indefinite
hoy,
multitude, quantity, or
Alexander
distance.
Graham Bell,
System
and she'll
regulates
get
to
it.
bring about specifics and
And she'll be like, oh, okay, hoy hoy, hoy hoy,
Current radiates
hoy hoy.
electromagnetic of sound through the air, same as your thoughts transmit.
It's not connecting.
Preceding others in time, order, importance. The most prominent parts, voices, or instruments. Earthly state of human concerns in existence, and indefinite multitude.
Neither one. Yeah, he said. Yeah, no, he said this is one. You're trying to dial two. Yeah. Yeah, that whole shit is funny. But within that, that's funny and that's a joke. But why hoy hoy? Like that's the mystery. Like listen, hoy hoy. Like know why? Because in such an early time, hello wasn't the standard yet. That's what's so crazy. So he had to he made his own greeting because he's new. Hoy hoy. Like it says so many things in so many directions that it just cannot go unnoticed. So we made it just like so it reminds me of that time we had all them fucking just wild things we would say like I'll just call B.O.B. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, just chilling. What's up? What you chilling? He just said, oh, just niggering about the town. I said, yo, I don't know why the fuck that is fucking hilarious. And then he was singing on it, just niggering about the town, niggering about the town. I'm like, yo, you are mad, you are stupid for that shit, yo. Yo, where's Aaron? Aaron, let me tell all you niggas, yo, I would say it, and I would say it on two levels. Black people are geniuses. They're cosmic DNA, whatever. Then there's this textbook white idea of genius. That's like, a nigga will really literally stomp your brain out on levels that ain't working. B.O.B. is one of those motherfuckers. Clueless. I always knew the nigga was smart, but I thought his mind went in 4 different directions just because he was here and like he was taking every opportunity to get his rocks off with questions. But he'll be like, yo, I can feel the spirits in this house. What do you think of that? And I think black people are this and that, and then hoy hoy, all in one simultaneous conversation. So Tuesday, I go to his house to work on music. You know, Reese, that's sun up to sun down for me. I could stay in that mindset in front of that drum machine and do shit and zone. This nigga had me mentally exhausted. This nigga was having 4. Say it again, Aaron. Hold up. We got to hear you. Something's moving around. I can hear you better now. Yo, we told you. Yo, I was sitting there like this. Okay, let's go. Like, one moment, I'm like, okay, well, see, what that really means is da-da-da-da. Next minute, I'm like, nigga, yo, cause when that nigga Harry, hoy, hoy, nigga, then fucking in the same moment, yo, why is water wet and all these things? I think it's that. Then the next moment is this. Yo, look at this. You see this? It's moving. It's moving. He's like, yo, we looking at the fucking board. He's like, yo, look. Yo, this shit is all moving. You're not even asking how I can loop this that quick because I can hear it. It's like, there's no formal training. I'm sitting there like, yeah, okay. Yo, I'm literally like, he's like, yo, you ready to bounce? I'm like, yeah. He said, yeah. Then he just goes, oh, I'm getting tired. I'm like, finally, nigga, like, admit it. Like, and not to mention, he's like, yo, man, all right, let's work all day Tuesday. No, let's even go back. Now it starts to make sense. He goes, all right, tell me about some of these ideas. I'm like, well, look, this is New York, old New York. This is what that meant. I'm bringing them back to Cold Crush, Grandmaster Caz. I'm giving him a whole history. He's writing down notes, which at the time I thought was very cute. Oh, he's writing his notes. Word to the mother. He said, well, come to the crib and let's see what I got and we add do whatever else you got. Word to the mother, that nigga played this shit right out of my mind. He programmed this shit. I'm like, how the fuck would you even know to take it that way? Classics that I know you don't know. So that alone had me fucked. Then he's like, well, let's go to the studio. This is in his mind. This is unstudio anything. Let's go to the studio. First of all, he's got a full-fledged studio in his house. So you know me, my first thing is like, nigga, I'm from the hood, nigga, pre-production, nigga. We do everything that needs to be done for free. Not even for free, but for so much more like that's what we want. There's no room for more interpretation. He's like, no, let's go to the studio. I said, wait a minute, nigga, there's a lot of shit to get done. He said, no, we're going to book out 2 rooms, Studio A, Studio B. We're going to knock it out. I'm going to bring in 2 producers. I already told Khadijah I've given up in my mind. I'll do it, my brother, whatever. So we get there, some old country nigga doing country time, country tunes. B puts his shit on, right? And I'm like, yo, I'm hearing this shit again. I'm like, yo, listen, nigga, I don't know how you murdered this shit off of one word of mine. I didn't even get in this shit yet. You already there. Nigga doing grand verbalizer. What time is it? Well, doing fucking champ. Well, doing UFO. Well, you know what I'm saying? This nigga did motherfucking I'm bad. Whoo, sample for sample. I said, yo, I don't know how you fucking did that ill without me being there. Crazy. So there's more shit. I said, well, I got shit for you right now, my nigga. It's playing all this shit. So now he can do the drums for those. So now he got down south tapping on them. Needless to say, I'm disgusted. Everything is 808. Boom, 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 boom. Like, nigga, tap that shit out right. Like, cymbals. I'm like, nigga, first of all, take the fucking cymbal out. Put an open hi-hat. Stop making the hi-hats dance just so they could dance. Make them dance. Boom. Not just chords. I'm like, nigga, you were lazy. And you're a programmer, not a producer. So now he's starting to ask me why I don't like Juvenile so much. I'm like, first and foremost, besides me not relating to the information, my nigger, I was 35 when that came out. I'm not interested in no man named Juvenile, plus going to a club going, you want to say, huh? Nigga, that was childish for me. He's trying to convince me of this. Now, I told B.O.B. later, I said, I'm not trying to take a job from this nigga, but he's not a producer and he shouldn't be in my fucking field if he's sitting around like a fan trying to convince me from his heart, not do the work. Because at the same time, he said, well, you don't understand it. I said, that's where you wrong. Because it was my business to do it. That's how I fucking paid my rent. So not only did I understand it, I seen through that. But that don't mean I partied to it on the weekends, nigga. He just couldn't figure it out. I told B.O.B. B.O.B. felt it. On the way home, what's going on? You know, I said, listen, my nigga, let me explain some real simplistic shit. We had a name for niggas like you. You make records like a nigga who already got hits. You in the studio ordering pizza, smoking blunts, doing all the rest of this. A nigga who ain't got no money, he's going to be sitting right next to the engineer the whole session. I said, you got to move like this again. You got to move. I said, if I was to speak as if I was in the business still, and I was telling you the honest, you know what I'm saying, not as a personal friend, I would say, or even what your manager should be telling you, you would be screamed on for taking that project to the studio at that moment. So he canceled the rest of the sessions. We did at the crib. That's when I seen that nigga's mind was. Now it made sense why we was in the studio. He was so far ahead because he's thinking everything. He's already like, well, what should we name it? I'm like, nigga, let the songs name the shit. Like and I had to lay down, and they just never really learned the process of making records. That's all it is. I'm like, oh no, it's not really better or New York versus whatever, because he's sitting there going, I get it. It's not about New York. It's about this is where this shit happened at. So now you get it. Niggas ain't really screaming about New York. New York is old, worn out, tired, and every nigga from New York is moving to the South. But what happened in New York was actually what needs to be taken attention because it was nothing less than magic. So he's got the education to go along with the shit as well. And the shit that has been laid already is sick. So the next thing is the thing I say, yo, we must do one with Aaron. We must. And I already see how we could take this shit, but I didn't know if he told you or not. And I was like, no, we need to bust it on Aaron. So nigga, I got more ayahuasca, more mushrooms, nigga. We gonna write the shit first, and then we gonna sing the shit high, nigga. It's gonna be crazy. But for the first time I seen, hands down, this motherfucking nigga. Oh, are we online? Oh, let me keep recording because this shit ain't even on. Torian, so, something wrong with the check to see if the cable light is still on. Are you upstairs already? I was gonna say check and see if the internet is still on. I think it's coming back, but it says not connected. Okay. No, it's back on. I just got to connect back to Zoom. Yeah, it's just connecting back to Zoom. It's gonna take a while. I'm ending this now anyway. Tell Rashawn, where's Rashawn at? All right, Rashawn, how start getting ready. Huh? Oh, you're done? All right, my niggas. You and Torrin did it?
I was just sleeping on the floor. There was like stuff all over.
I appreciate that. This nigga been working here for 10 years. Don't figure out how to do that. Torrin helped you?
Yeah.
All right, that's what made it go fast. Okay. Oh yeah, even better. All right, so I got both of y'all in. I'm about to end this shit.
Message. New message.
Might as well say goodbye. Hola, Jovito. Damn, boy, I really need a haircut. Oh, what? It's still not back yet? What the fuck? Oh, y'all niggas stuck around. I love y'all. Y'all stuck around. But at the same time, y'all should have just fucking left. I don't know what y'all heard last. I don't feel like repeating none of that shit. I lost a connection. But the moral of the story is I seen how that nigga's mind worked. Oh my God, yo. I don't know if you noticed that it's like 4 levels. It's hard to keep this nigga focused on one subject. It's okay. I know it wasn't me. It's hard. And I thought it was like that here because, he was just asking, you know what I mean? Questions. So he wanted to get it all in the time he was here. But this is at his house too. I'm like, I literally had to, I had to tell that nigga. I told this nigga everything I told you. Like, yo, my nigga. We And what I noticed though, at the end of the day, no one showed these niggas how to make records. It is exactly how we think. Oh man, we lose connection again. All right, something one of them niggas hit upstairs. Ice, you know who you are, cold as ice. It's only on. All right, niggas. We keep getting disconnected, so I'm saying goodbye anyway. Why even do all of that? Hold on. I'm saying goodbye anyway, so why even go keep going through all of this crap? But like I said, I'm glad I'm not alone in this now. Aaron's gonna be able to help reel him in on some normal shit. All right, later, guys. Look for your drop blocks. Look through emails. Those who weren't originally down, peace, nicker. Those who weren't originally down, hoy hoy, Carol, hoy hoy. Those who weren't originally down, just make sure you get the email of your Dropbox. I'm putting it up this week. Peace and blessings, beloveds. It was nice to see you again. Nice. This meeting is over.